Wrestling Days, and welcome to Wrestling Days Live. We are live for this week's Smackdown, and should be a very fun show. It is a go-home show. Go-home shows traditionally are the least fun shows because with the go-home, everything's already in place, and you tend to get a contract signing, things like that, which we do have tonight, actually. We do have a contract signing. So there's sure to be a brawl or something along those lines. I do feel like there is potential for tonight to be a little bit different. The reason why I say that is because there's still things that aren't finished. Like, there's still 2 women that need to be found for the Women's Smackdown Survivor Series team. There's still a guy that needs to be found for the Men's Survivor Series team. We've had no invasions this year, so could tonight be the night that we actually get an invasion, a Raw invasion? You would have to say that it's likely. I can't imagine that they'll go the whole build without doing any invasions. So yeah, I'm kind of leaning towards the fact that there's a very, very good chance that we will get an invasion. So we'll have to wait and see how it all pans out, plays out. So could be a very interesting, very exciting evening ahead, so very much looking forward to that. Big shout out to everyone that is in the chat, everyone that is joining us. Let me see if I can just get to the chat and bring that up, and then we can start previewing the show and talking about some of the news and rumours that's out there. One thing I do want to say, a massive thank you, a big shout out to everyone that checked out the March to Wrestlemania video. We've started doing those old Raw reviews. We've gone back to the first Raw and Raws in 1993, and we just did a special that was called March to WrestleMania. I think it's really fun. The feedback's been great. It honestly is one of my favourite videos that I've done this year. It's one of those videos that I've been waiting for people to see, because it's always a good sign when you kind of laugh into yourself when you're editing. It's also a bad sign because it means you're losing your mind. But I was kind of giggling to myself as I was editing it. So I definitely think that it's one of my favourite videos that's been done this year. And that dropped today. So really great response from those that checked it out. And a big thank you if that was you. So yeah, that is up on the channel now. And of course, what a big weekend we've got coming up, because we've got Smackdown tonight, UFC 255, 2 title fights tomorrow, Survivor Series on Sunday, and of course Raw on Monday. So it's just, it never ends. It never ever ends. So big shout out to everyone that's joining us. Wrestling Days fan Chalmers, Austin 316, LeBron fan 23, Ruel, Butterspark, Zykami, Dylan Wolfie, Jordan, William Hensey, Miss Clown 1, Sandman 882, Zen, James Chadwick. Shout out to all of you that are in the chat right now. Let's start, shall we, with the preview. Let's talk about what we're actually going to be seeing tonight. And I can tell you that we've got Drew and Roman contract signing. We've got Seth Rollins against Murphy. Now, obviously, this has been building for a good few weeks. Well, say good few weeks. It's kind of been rumbling along for much longer than that. But the kind of Seth and Murphy part of it has been a month, few weeks. We finally get to the point where they're going to have a match. We should see Tuck tonight in Murphy's corner as well. I did tweet out a picture, for those that are interested, of Undertaker with a French tuck. That is on my Twitter account. I did find an image of Undertaker where he just tucked in the front, left the sides hanging out. So even the dead man is now being inspired by the fashion of Aaliyah. So she should be in Murphy's corner. We've got Daniel Bryan taking on Jey Uso. And as we said, we've still got to figure out who these final spots are going to be. There is a rumour, and I will tell you this rumour because it's not a spoiler. It's just a rumour that they are looking at Big E for that final men's spot. As I said, not a spoiler. I have not seen that confirmed. But I know that there were talks that they were looking at putting Big E in that final spot. Now, hopefully we get an answer on it tonight. Obviously, we did our Survivor Series prediction video, and I was saying it'd be really cool if they looked at putting Undertaker in that spot. It's something that I've seen people talking about online, and it's something that people have mentioned in the chat before. And I always like to be honest. Whenever it's been mentioned before, I dismissed it. I was like, I just don't see it. I don't see him being in the Survivor Series match. Like, it didn't make much sense. But then someone pointed out that not only is it his 30 years since he debuted, but he debuted as a mystery person on a Survivor Series team. How poetic if it ends the exact same way. How poetic if 30 years later he finishes by being the mystery person on a Survivor Series team, which I have to admit is beautiful. So I am kind of into it a little bit more, that idea, that concept. But my gut feeling is still no. And as we said, the rumours are that it could be Big E. The other rumours as well is that Rhea Ripley could be done with NXT, and that blew my mind because, again, in the Survivor Series prediction video that we did, I said, what if she's about to be called up? And I had heard no rumours at that point that that was the case. I was just under the impression that she, because I didn't see NXT, but I was under the impression that she hadn't won the NXT title. I didn't have loads of people shouting new champion or see loads of, I didn't see anything about the match. So either she was new champion and everyone stayed quiet, or like there was no title change. So I presumed there was no title change. And honestly, if she's just had a shot at the title and not won, like, what else is there for her to do? Like, what else is there for her to do down in NXT? So I could see her getting called up. I'm not saying tonight, although she could fill one of those spots. There's 2 spots on the SmackDown women's team. So Rhea Ripley, I wouldn't rule it out. But as I said, I'm not expecting it tonight, but we'll keep an eye on it. So you've got that rumor out there. And then, look, there's loads of information, loads of news for us to go through. I suppose the big breaking news, the one thing that we have to make sure, because you know what we're like, we'll start a conversation, we'll start talking about coat hangers or something, and before we know it, it's time for the show to start. So we've got to make sure that we get this information out there. WWE have announced a dual brand battle royal for the kickoff show. We don't know the participants. So, I mean, I would imagine it's going to be a 20, 30 person battle royal. I would imagine it'll be the guys. I would imagine that a lot of tag teams are going to be in it because the tag teams don't have a Survivor Series match this year. So I would imagine that they will go into this dual brand battle royal. Maybe some of the people, solo stars as well. I could see it being 30 people, maybe even 40-man battle royal or something. So yeah, we'll have to see who's involved in that. But that's the big announcement. I believe that's on the kickoff show. So we know what's going to be on there now. So yeah, that came through earlier. That's pretty decent news. Something which could be fun. I would like it if the winner received something. I would like it that if a winner is going to win that, like, they get a title shot. I think that would be cool. I think that would make sense. And you could even do the match on the brand. So if it's a SmackDown superstar, then it sets up in 2 weeks' time the winner versus the champion. 2 weeks on SmackDown, you get the title match. Or even you could set it up for TLC if you'd properly thought it through. The winner of this will go and get a title match at TLC. I mean, that could be really exciting because it could open it up to anyone. It's kind of like holding a mini Royal Rumble, isn't it, in a way, on the kickoff show? But I don't think it is. I think it's just bragging rights. I think it's just you get a point for your brand. So I wish they would explore that and go a bit further with, you know, giving proper rewards rather than just your brand gets a point, but whatever. So yeah, almost got it out there. We got that out there. Brony says Rhea is most likely to get called up to SmackDown, but I feel that she would suit better on Raw, and Asuka could then have a good opponent to face and feud with. Hey, I tell you what, an Asuka Rhea Ripley feud would be a lot of fun. there's quite a few fun feuds for Asuka. Not easy. But for some reason, they just don't seem to want to do them yet. I mean, I feel like Asuka Naomi feud could be fun. I feel like Asuka Bianca Belair would be fun, but they're on different brands. I feel like Asuka Rhea Ripley would be fun, but at the moment on different brands. I think we were all waiting for Asuka against Shayna Baszler, and look what happened there. So I do feel like there's and Asuka Ronda. We never got Asuka Ronda. We never got Asuka versus Ronda. It might be because who wins that match. I can't see Ronda being willing to take the L. And honestly, Asuka, would she benefit by just being in that match? I don't know. But I'm amazed we never got it. So yeah, Asuka Ronda. That's another one that I would like to see one day. I mean, it would probably work so much better if Ronda comes back as a heel. If Ronda comes back as a heel and takes on face Asuka, that could be a lot of fun. Ronda could, in many ways, be like the female Brock. Do you know what I mean? Just very dominant. Only shows up a few times a year. Heel. Crowd don't like her. They don't feel that she belongs. Don't feel that she puts the work in. Don't feel that she makes enough appearances, but she doesn't care. Just like Brock doesn't care. And you could go that way. I'd definitely 100,000,000% put her with Paul Heyman. Never been more sure of anything in my life. I would put Ronda with Paul Heyman. Because that's going to help. She was just out there on her own before. But give her some legitimacy. Put her with Heyman and have Heyman do the talking. But anyway, we don't know if or when she's coming back. Days, who was announced as the SmackDown team captain? I don't think anyone's been announced, dude. Miss Clown 1, I'm really pleased you enjoyed that March to Mania. I appreciate it. There was a lot of really positive feedback about it, and that March to Mania video that dropped today was one that honestly took about, I would say from start to finish, about a week to edit. Because it's actually like a 2-hour TV special, so it's kind of like a mini pay-per-view. What I love about it is it's kind of like a Lost mini pay-per-view. If you want to watch it, it is on the network, but it's in Hidden Gems. You've got to go to Hidden Gems to watch this March to WrestleMania show. And it was basically a TV special they put on a week before WrestleMania. And I said before, I wish they'd do it now. I wish they would do it now. I wish they would give you a mini pay-per-view before WrestleMania. USA Network. You get a 2-hour show. It's decent matches. And it's all to build up WrestleMania. I suppose in a way, it's kind of what Raw and SmackDown are now. I mean, back in the day, you used to get a lot of jobber matches. And you don't anymore. So I suppose in a way, it's just what Raw and SmackDown has become. But yeah, I really enjoyed watching it and revisiting it. So I'm glad you enjoyed it. Can I get a shout out? Noobs Are Us. Shout out to you, my friend. Thank you for joining us. Jensen says, Days, who do you think deserves the remaining spots at Survivor Series? I would like to see Bayley, Carmela, and Murphy. Although I think they'll go Natalia, Billie Kay, and Big E. It's good. I like that, Jensen. It's a good question. Who deserves it? Well, it's difficult to say who deserves it because I feel like Billie Kay deserves it. I think that she's always done really well at what she's been asked. She just doesn't get asked to do a great deal. I think she's very funny. I think she could definitely bring something to the team. I would love to see her get utilized more. She doesn't really have much in the way of momentum, but then that doesn't seem to be a problem because Lana doesn't have much in the way of momentum, but she still managed to qualify and get onto the team. So I don't think they're too bothered about people that have got momentum. But yeah, I really like Billie Kay. I wish that she would get used more. The Bayley thing, I feel like Bayley should go on because Bayley should be on this card. But after having such a long run, I just wonder if they're giving her a break. I just wonder if they're letting her have this one off. and she's going to sit it out. Because I suppose in a way it is strange that she's been champ for so long and now she just finds herself on a women's Survivor. I don't want to say it's below her, but it definitely is. So I don't know. It's tricky. She should be on the show, and if she's going to be on the show, that's where she would fit. But I don't know if she does fit. So I do like Billie Kay. Bayley, definitely. If you're going to use her, put her there. But she might just sit this one out. Carmela hasn't done anything, has she? And she seems to be on the verge of a feud with Sasha. So I just wonder if they're going to have her attack Sasha rather than use her on a team. It could be that she beats Sasha up. But she could go onto the team. We probably should see a bit more of her. In fact, I don't even know if she hasn't even had a match yet, has she, since she came back? So yeah, we need to see something of her. And Murphy joining the team, I think, makes sense. Murphy joining, I mean, you could have made Seth versus Murphy. If Murphy wins, he qualifies, or something along those lines. So I'm trying to think who's on that men's team. I don't even know if Seth's qualified, has he? Isn't it like there's 3 on the team? You've got Kevin Owens, Jey Uso. I think is Seth on the team? I can't picture who's qualified. I think Seth might be on it. So yeah, anyway, look, I agree. I think Murphy easily could go on, but I do think Big E could go on as well. So there's arguments to be made for loads of them. I think what the big thing is, I don't know if there's really anyone that's nailed on, if you know what I mean. I don't think it's like, yeah, they're definitely going to go that way, because they could just go so many different ways. So it is interesting. Survivor Series definitely might not look great on paper, but so many different ways that they can take things. So many different directions they can go, and surprises that they could pull. And obviously, we don't even know what plans they've got for The Undertaker. Just touching on The Undertaker, he has done a collaboration with Snoop Dogg. So I don't know if you saw this clothing line. It is just clothes. He hasn't done an album. I wish he'd have done an album. But yeah, it is just clothes. It's T-shirts, and it's a limited range that I think dropped today. The amount of stuff they've done for this is... I can't remember them ever doing anything on this scale. Not even when it's like WrestleMania. I mean, when you get WrestleMania, you get, I suppose, branded figures, you get clothing range and stuff like this, but just look at the sheer amount of media work Undertaker has done. I don't even remember them doing this amount of media work for WrestleMania. Like, Undertaker was on UK Breakfast TV the other day. He's been on Hot Ones. He's been on MMA podcast. He's not just doing the normal wrestling stuff. He's flipping everywhere. He's absolutely everywhere. Like, he had a special pop vinyl that came out. He had his special figure that came out, the 30th anniversary Mattel figure that was released. He's now got this clothing line that's come out with Snoop Dogg. You can get the foam urn as well that they've re-released. They brought out a special commemorative belt as well. Like, the amount of stuff that they're doing for this, I cannot remember another promotion like it. It's huge. It's huge. Like, people are definitely going to tune in to see what's going to happen. And there's every chance he does just say goodbye. And that's it. And he does just walk away. But I think we're all expecting more. And I think a lot of us are expecting, like, The Fiend or something. I don't think Sting. I'd love for it to be Sting. But I think you've got to look at the current product and say that The Fiend would be a better fit. The Fiend would make more sense. So I can't see it being Sting. But I do think The Fiend, because how incredible that The Fiend is not on the Survivor Series card. That is someone I can't get my head around. How is The Fiend not at Survivor Series? Not even just The Fiend, Funhouse Bray. How is Funhouse Bray not at Survivor Series? I don't know. So you've got to think that they're saving him for that segment. I really believe that. I really believe that. So yeah, it's going to be one to watch. Just talking as well about Undertaker being on that Hot Ones show. Sasha said on the New Day podcast that she went on the Hot Ones, and that is how she got seen and booked for Star Wars. Apparently, they saw her on that show. So that show's huge, isn't it? I mean, to be honest, I don't watch it. It's not part of my viewing schedule, but I am aware of it. I have seen a few episodes. I don't think I've seen the Sasha one, but yeah, she said that's how like Star Wars got in touch with her and everything. So maybe Undertaker's going to Star Wars now. That'd be amazing. He would be great next to the Emperor, wouldn't he? I could see that. Definitely.
Dazzle by Nature is a legend. They donated €5 via a super chat. Just dropping some support. Hope all it good.
Dazzle by Nature, really, really appreciate that support, my friend. Thank you very much. I hope you are well, buddy. Really do appreciate that support. That is very, very cool. So thank you for joining us, Dazzle by Nature. 7-star saying, I spent 2 days in the aisles of Kmart picking up that tonic, picking up that cutting stuff. Yeah, that was Brutus's promo from today's video. Very fun. Monica, shout out to you. Days, have you seen the New Day Gears of War limited edition shirts? They look absolutely amazing. I haven't. No, I haven't. And to be perfectly honest, I know very little about Gears of War. Here's my knowledge of Gears of War. Xbox exclusive. Man with a gun on the cover. I think they changed the name to like Gears 5 when it went to get... I don't think it was Gears of War 5. I think it just became Gears 5. I think Batista was in it. New Day have got some t-shirts connected with it. That's literally the extent of my knowledge. That's it. We are done. If I had a bit of paper and a pen, I could write nothing else down. Yeah, I haven't seen those shirts. I wouldn't even know what I was looking for, to be honest. But if you are a fan of that game series, which could be an Xbox exclusive, and probably did have a man on the front cover with a gun, then I hope you enjoyed them. I hope you enjoyed them. Talking of things that people are enjoying, look at that for a segue. Undertaker cameos. Undertaker $1,000 cameo. $1,000. I'd want him to bury me for that amount of money. I'd want him to actually dig my grave, put me in it, and bury me. So $1,000. I don't know what you actually get for that money. Like, I don't normally a cameo's like what, a minute, 30 seconds. Like, you've got to get more than that, surely. For $1,000, you can't just have, hey, it's the Undertaker here. Hope you're well. Rest in peace. Like, you've got to have more than that, surely. For $1,000. Well, they only made 30 available. So, and apparently they've sold 25. 25 have sold. Now, in a way, you've got to think there's people out there with money. Look at Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury, heavyweight boxing champion of the world, multi-millionaire. What is $1,000 to him? I mean, quite literally, it is nothing. It is nothing. It's like pocket change. He probably loses $1,000 down the back of the sofa. So, like, I suppose in a way I shouldn't be too surprised. There's a lot of footballers, sports stars, businessmen, blah, 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 blah. That'll just drop that without even thinking. But, yeah, they sold 25 of them for Undertaker cameos. So, amazing. I should have got one, shouldn't I? I should have got one. I mean, not that I've got $1,000. So what I should have done is robbed a bank. Then I should have got one. And I could have had him doing the intro to the Wrestling Days channel. That would have been fire. Hey, it's the Undertaker here. You are watching Wrestling Days. Rest in peace. That would have been... Oh, that might have been... Would that have been worth it? No. No, it's the answer. No, it wouldn't. But it would have been cool. It would have been cool. Although saying that, how would I ever play it at the start of the streams? Because when we start the streams just start. So I'd have to, like, at the start of each stream, I'd have to fold up my phone, wouldn't I, like this? I'd be like, guys, watch this first. It cost me $1,000. Hang on, here we go. Look, he's about to talk. So, yeah, I'm pleased I didn't do that. But many people have, and I hope they are happy. And we spoke about him being on the Hot Ones as well. And we've spoken about his clothing range. So I think we've covered a lot of big news, you know. Days, you're too pretty to go in prison. Why am I going to prison? What's happened? Is there some breaking news? Why am I going to prison? Days, that would be cool. Would be cool. Brother Nero says, I already got mine. Well, there we go. I met The Undertaker before in London, says Chelsea fan. Very, very cool. Lenny says, I've got an Undertaker autograph from 1998. I wonder how much it's worth. It depends, to be honest, what's actually signed. If it's just on a scrap of paper, then that will always be a little lower in value than if it's on like a picture or an item or something along those lines. So there's a scale, obviously, you know. But I do look into like autograph stuff because I do like autographs and signatures and things like that. And I should have an Undertaker one actually. I might have. Well, I say I might have. I definitely do have an Undertaker one. Which, can I quickly put my hand on? Probably not is the answer. I tell you what, if I can't put my hand on the Undertaker one, I'll just show you a random one. And, oh, no, I have. There we go. There it is. That is, I can't even see if you can see it, because the light might be reflecting off it.
Dazzle by nature is a legend.
That is
they
the,
donated €5 via a super chat. I seen PS5 selling for $1K. That is crazy for Taker.
You've seen the PS5 selling for that much. That is mental. That is mental. People just need to wait. Just wait and then it will come down in price. Well, I suppose people want it. I understand. I mean, it's easy for me to be like, why don't people just wait? Because I'm not that bothered by it. But I could understand it's the big must-have item this year. So, boom. NXT War Games, Sunday, December 6th, 2020. The men's War Games match was announced after NXT 2 nights ago. Okay, cool. I have seen that news that it's coming. I can't say that it's a big surprise. They tend to do it this time every year. So, yeah, it's coming up. It's that time of year. What team are you rooting for? Oh, I don't care. I don't care. Does anyone really care? I don't know. I mean, I watch both shows. So, I don't know. I don't know why I'm meant to care. Who wins? If Raw wins, Raw wins. If SmackDown wins, SmackDown wins. Like my predictions, I've got Raw winning 5-1. I think I'm predicting a Raw almost whitewash. Only Roman, I think, could win it for SmackDown. Obviously, I go through the whole breakdown in the predictions video. But I just think that there's a few things like, say, Lana being sole survivor. If they do go that way, that would give it to Raw. I think the men's Raw team have not been on the same page, have not gelled, haven't clicked, lost to Retribution. But that normally means that they then get the job done at the pay-per-view. So I could see them winning then at the pay-per-view. So I could see the men's team doing it. I could see Lana winning it. Bobby Lashley against Sami Zayn. I mean, honestly, Bobby Lashley is so strong, so powerful. Like, it's hard to see how Sami can overcome that. Sami is like one of those kind of heels that'll just take his belt and walk away. So I went with like Bobby on that. And before I knew it, I mean, like Asuka against Sasha. Like, Sasha's just, you know, beaten Bayley. Asuka's not really had anyone to feud with recently. And as a result, I could see them giving Asuka that moment. Before you know it, it's like 4-0 to Raw. So I've gone with it being, I think, out of the 6 matches, 5-1 to Raw. But honestly, I don't care. I'm not really supporting or rooting for anyone, to be honest. I'm more, I suppose, I'm Team Undertaker. That's what I am. Am I red or am I black? Am I red or blue? I'm actually black. I'm Team Undertaker. That's who I'm supporting. I'm supporting his farewell because there's no denying that's the big draw. That's what all the media has been about, all the adverts are about, is Undertaker's final farewell. So can't wait to see what they do in that segment. I saw Stone Cold's, Sasha Banks's, and Jericho's Hot Ones interviews. They were really good. Yeah, it is worth saying about the Hot Ones interview that it was very good. I did say this yesterday on a member stream that we did. There was a question that got asked that I really loved the answer to. They said, if you could tell a new wrestler to watch 4 matches, what 4 matches would you tell them to watch? And he said, Ric Flair, Harley Race, any of those from the 80s. Macho Man against Ricky Steamboat, WrestleMania 3. Undertaker versus Shawn. He said his own match, WrestleMania 25. Which I ain't got a problem with because he definitely should say that match because it is amazing. So he said that match. And then this is the one that surprised me. This is the one that I couldn't believe, right? He said a match from this year. He said that newcomers, if you want to learn how to wrestle, watch Edge versus Orton, the Backlash match, the cinematic Backlash match. That's what Undertaker said. And I said this yesterday. It blew my mind to think that he'd even seen that show. And I don't know why. I mean, he wasn't on that show. And I think that's what really surprised me, was he'd actually sat down and watched that show. He wasn't on it. But I don't know why it surprised me, because they're good friends of it. You know, he wants to watch his friends, doesn't he? He wants to see what Edge and Orton are going to do. And it's being billed as the greatest wrestling match ever. And do you know what I mean? All this. So I shouldn't have been surprised that he watched it. But for some reason I was. Again, I said this on yesterday's stream that I suppose in a way it's kind of like if you're surrounded by something at work, do you then go home and still surround yourself in it? Like he goes to work and it's all wrestling. So then does he really want to watch wrestling when he gets home? I don't know. But again, saying that, he doesn't go to work wrestling anymore, does he? He's just really a fan now, like a lot of us. So yeah, it kind of blew my mind. It is a very good match. You can get into the whole argument about whether it's a match or not, or if it's cinematic and blah, 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 blah. But there's no denying that there's some fantastic sequences in that. It is a brilliant match. I do feel really sorry for them, actually, Edge and Orton, because that match had dubbed-in commentary, and it also had a couple of reshoots. And honestly, if they'd have just left it alone and just put out the match as it was, I think 99% of it would have been the same. I think 99.9% of it was one take, one match, and it was brilliant. It was absolutely brilliant. But people are like, even me, are like, I don't know if it's a match or not. I don't know if it counts. I don't know if you can compare it to other matches. Is it fair? Because they did go back and touch some stuff up, and they did go back and sweeten the audio, and yeah, but still good enough for Undertaker to recommend. WWE will bring its world-class viewing experience, the WWE Thunderdome, to Tropicana Field in Tampa Bay as it begins with Smackdown on Friday, December 11th. Yeah, Adam, they, I believe, are looking to keep it there till WrestleMania. I think they're going to look to keep it all the way until then. And should have a slight different feel because of it obviously being in a baseball ground compared to being in a arena. But again, I can't remember the stream I said it on, but I do think that it's going to be kept quite tight. I think the camera angle is going to be kept quite tight. There's no fans, so there's no need to show you the baseball ground because they're just going to show you an empty baseball ground. So I think they're going to keep it quite tight. I think the entranceway could feel different. It is still within like a dome, but obviously it's going to feel spacier, area. There's a lot more room inside there than there is inside the Amway, but I think it'll feel a little different, but I wouldn't expect it to feel like, say, a Royal Rumble, where you can, you've got them big sweeping shots. I mean, they're not going to give you that because there's nothing to show you. They're just going to set up the Thunderdome and the ring, and I would imagine keep it quite focused on that. So, still no denying, very exciting. But I think if they didn't have to leave the Amway, they wouldn't. They're only leaving because the Magic are going to start playing again, or practicing or whatever. Days, who do you think will be the last member of Team SmackDown? Well, we did throw a few ideas around on that, and honestly, the rumors are that it looks like it could be Big E. Again, not a spoiler, it's a rumor. One of those talks have been had, but we'll have to see how it pans out, kind of a thing. So I honestly don't know what to expect with it, but I'd have to go with Big E because that's the one I've seen some talk about. I'm extremely disappointed NXT is not on Survivor Series, says Oscar. Michael says the Bella Twins, I think, could be the last members on the Survivor Series team. John Morrison has been buried, says RWC. Yeah, it's not been great since he came back, has it? It's not been brilliant news for John Morrison. I think they've definitely mishandled him. I think what they've done is moved him to the side. I think they've brought him in to kind of give him and Miz something to do. And part of that was the dirt sheets and things like this. Now, I don't like the dirt sheets. I don't find them funny or entertaining. I don't find Miz and Morrison funny or entertaining. I think Miz can cut a good promo, but only when he's fired up. I don't think he cuts like a very good, funny, entertaining promo. I think he cuts quite a good, passionate promo like what we've seen on Talking Smack in the past. So I do think that Miz and Morrison, of course, both got, talents and both are, great superstars, but this just hasn't worked. It hasn't worked. But I don't know if they've tried to bury them or if they've tried to give them something and it just hasn't worked. So, but yeah, I don't know if they were ever going to bring him in and have him as a title challenger or anything like that. So maybe our expectations were a little bit high. I don't know. But yeah, hopefully they do more with him. I would like to see those two go their separate ways for a bit. Hayden Garrett, shout out to you, my friend. Really appreciate the support. Hope you are well. Hunter says, did you hear that WWE want to build a match between Rock and Roman? I haven't heard that that's something that they're looking to do, but it's something that they absolutely should do. They've made a load of money. It makes perfect sense to go and get The Rock. Rock Roman is the main event that I would book. I think it's the main event a lot of us have speculated and theorized about, and just everything seems to be heading in that direction. It's too perfect. It's the perfect storm. Like Rock, as long as he doesn't have movie commitments, surely would do it because it's Roman, it's family. Why would he not want to be in a WrestleMania main event again? He might have a few concerns about whether he can still do it, because he is getting on now. There's no denying. He might look incredible, but it's very different from building up your body to work in a 30-minute wrestling match, like cardio and everything. So, yeah, I hope so. I'm really keeping everything crossed that comes through, because that is, I think you would have to say, the biggest match they could make. I can't think of a bigger match. I mean, maybe CM Punk coming back, but even CM Punk doesn't have the mass market appeal that The Rock does. He's the biggest star in Hollywood. You're talking about the biggest star in Hollywood, one of the most known guys in the world, taking on the biggest talent they've got right now, the biggest star they've got right now in Roman Reigns. In a story about family that's already started and is already very compelling and very gripping. I honestly can't think of anything bigger. I honestly can't think, unless you could get Stone Cold back for a match. But man, even Stone Cold coming back, would it be bigger? Would it? I mean, like, maybe to us die-hard wrestling fans, but to the casual fans, think of all the moms out there that know The Rock and all just the pick. But would they tune in for Stone Cold? They'll tune in for The Rock. Would they tune in for Stone Cold? When I say bigger, I mean like mass market appeal. I think it's the biggest match you can make. I really do. I think it's the Ali Tyson fight. I think it's like the dream match, biggest fight. I hope it happens. I really do. I'm swooning all over it. I really, really hope it happens. 7-star, shout out to you, my friend. Thank you very much for the support. Really, really appreciate it. Brother Nero says, I'm serious that Bay Mella should be the final two and they should be best mates again. That would be good. That would be good. I don't know if would it be a bit, I suppose it wouldn't be too soon to tell that story. You could put them in and then tell the story after. But yeah, Bay Mella being a thing would be good. I remember talking last week about being confused that Bayley is still in that title scene, but Carmela has now entered it as well. And obviously we know that Bayley and Carmela have been friends in the past. And
Glasgow Geek 1985 is a legend. They donated £2 via a super chat. Check in, brother.
Glasgow Geek 1985, shout out to you, buddy. Hope you are well. Appreciate the support, man. Really do. Wrestling Days fan says, I don't want The Rock to main event. He doesn't deserve it. Which is a perfectly fine point. And not a point that I can really argue with. Or would want to argue with, actually. I think the thing is, you can definitely look at talents that are coming through and say, you know, you should be going with your likes of Big E, Aleister Black, or, you know, whoever it is that they're trying to build up. But I think the problem is, I don't know where them talents are because they've done such an awful job of building anyone. There's no one that's, like, knocking on the door that I can see. I mean, Big E only just went solo, and I would think that this WrestleMania would be too soon. You could do it. You could win the Rumble, and you could quickly build it and, you know, do the best that you can, but he's not going to get to The Rock's level. At least The Rock, obviously, is The Rock, who, you know, was in WWE for, what was it, like 6 years? In a solid run, and then obviously made sporadic appearances after that, and then had the 2 matches against Cena, which broke records. That first match with Cena broke records. I think it's the most viewed WrestleMania ever. WrestleMania 28. You might remember Once in a Lifetime, Rock versus Cena, most viewed WrestleMania ever. Which is why they then did it the next year, unsurprisingly. They did Rock Cena Once in a Lifetime Part 2. And obviously it didn't do quite the same numbers because everyone had seen it the year before. But honestly, you should be looking at those kind of numbers again. I really believe that if you do Rock Roman. And there's no stars that's going to give WWE that, to be honest. So, yeah, I hope they do it. I hope they do it. Willy Wonka says, hi. Can you kindly return his everlasting gobstopper? Well, if there was such a thing as an everlasting gobstopper, where would you keep it? There would have to be like an everlasting gobstopper container, wouldn't there? Because if you put it in your mouth and you're like sucking on it, as soon as you'd like done for the evening, because it's everlasting, like you'd have to put it somewhere. I've never really thought about it. But now I'm thinking about it, and I'm like, you would definitely have to. So if that did exist, you could really make a good business out of making everlasting gobstopper containers. Just something to have a think about. Days, The Rock still will get casual fans to watch. Oh, definitely. Couldn't agree more, Sean. Could not agree more. He is casual fans. He absolutely is. If they can get him, they've guaranteed themselves an extra X amount of 100,000 viewers. Definitely. Big deal. Big deal. Birek says, Days, if Rock and Roman or Daniel and Roman don't work out for WrestleMania, I think Chris Hero should attack Roman, knowing that he was the original choice of CM Punk's third Shield member. Yeah, I mean, storyline-wise, you can make it work. In reality, it wouldn't, would it? I mean, in reality, you could do it, but Chris Hero, no one knows who he is outside of NXT. Like, if he goes to the main roster, like, I just don't know that he's going to get any. You'd have to build him up. You'd have to build him up. I don't think they would just bring him in and get him to do a one-off match with Roman. I can't remember them really doing that in recent years, so you'd have to say very unlikely. Lauren says, Days Murphy called Dom his son-in-law in an interview. Will there be a proposal tonight? I don't know, because it's not even his son-in-law, it'd be his brother-in-law. So what's that mean? Like, Dom isn't Aaliyah's kid. So, that doesn't make any sense. Was he drunk? Had he been drinking? What's gone on? I don't know. Does he know how families work? Does he think that his Rey Mysterio's now his kid or something? I think he's got a bit confused there, to be honest. Killer Frost 84. Shout out to you, my friend. Thank you very much for the support. And look at that, you're getting a welcome already from Anna Dawes and 7 Star, which is awesome. William Hensey as well. Welcome, my friend. Look, and Sunny Wolf. Oh, that's nice, isn't it? Isn't that nice? Everyone welcoming a new member to the fold. Shout out to you, dude. Shout out to all of you. Urban Goth says, what one wrestling move, when executed, doesn't make sense? I'll start. Russian leg sweep. They both take the move, yet only one gets hurt. So that's a really good point, actually. Russian leg sweep, you do, like, both fall back down on your head, don't you? What move doesn't make sense? So that is very, very... You can see in my head now. My head's like a Rolodex. Just going through lots of different moves. Well, obviously none of the striking moves. They would all make sense. Submission moves should make sense. Can't think of any silly submissions, in all fairness. I think Russian leg sweep's a really good answer. Feel like there are other examples, though. I do feel like there's other examples. That might be one I'd have to ponder. That might be one that I'd have to think about. To change the subject a little, because I can't think of an example off the top of my head. There's moves that I very much feel should be finishing moves. There's moves that I think don't get the respect that they deserve, which is different, but still within the same realm. And again, you know, things like reverse Ranas, things along those lines, I very much feel should be finishing moves. I mean, it's crazy to me that, like, the Frankensteiner was a Hurricanrana, and that was the Steiner brothers' finishing move. But a reverse Rana, which is where you're getting pulled backwards. Like, you don't even know it's coming. You're just standing there, and before you know it, you're off backwards, getting dumped on top of your head. And for some reason, that doesn't finish matches. So that one, whenever we talk about moves, I always like to mention that, because people know it bugs me, and it really bugs me. If there's people in the Superplex, I don't know, to be honest, because if you think about it, they're standing on the top rope and they've got someone on their shoulders. That means that they fall down here, but this person's going a much longer distance and is going to come down with, you would think, more impact, more force. They're kind of being thrown down. So this person is taking a bump. There's no two ways about it. They're getting a bump on their back, but you would have to say the person that's being suplexed is taking more of that move, because, you know, they've got a much... If you're picking someone up, that arc is all the way... It's kind of all the way... You're picking them up and the momentum is taking them all the way back, isn't it? You're just doing that. They're doing like that, and so they'll come down with more force. So I don't know. I can see why people would say suplex, because you are both hitting your backs, but I do think there's maybe a little more to it when you think about the suplex. Not a bad shout. I've been watching for a while. Just wanted to ask about your fridge. What about the fridge? I feel like there's a conversation I'm forgetting. I'll quite happily talk about my fridge. No issues with talk. It's not a topic that's out of bounds or anything like this. I'd hate for them rumors to get out there. Do you watch Wrestling Days? Well, I used to, but he won't talk about his fridge. That's not me. I will. Right? I will talk about the fridge, but I can't remember anything about the fridge that's controversial or noteworthy. I can tell you that we've got 4 in the house. You might say that's controversial. Although one is more a drinks cooler, but we won't get into it.
Killer Frost 84 is a legend. They donated £5 via a super chat. Thanks guys for the welcome. I'm the wife of Glasgow Geek 1985. Line to win on Sunday.
Glasgow Geek 1985 has got a wife. That is unbelievable. So those rumours weren't true then about Glasgow Geek 1985. That he very much lived on his own in a dark room, crying himself to sleep, lonely, yearning for the touch of a good woman. And you're saying that you are, and you've called yourself Killer Frost. That's amazing. So Glasgow Geek and his wife Killer. Is that your first name? That would be amazing. This is my wife, Killer. That must have been awkward when you was like being introduced to the parents. Yeah, I am seeing a new girl. Oh, brilliant. What's her name? Sit down. She's called Killer, right? She's called Killer. That's amazing. Shout out to you. Really appreciate the support, my friend. And honestly, I'm just thrilled I'm on the right side of someone called Killer. That's really good. And honestly, the complete opposite of what high school was like for me. So, do you know what I mean? Adulthood is going very well. It's going very well. What do you think, Drew or Roman? I'm leaning to Roman. I think he is building up to potentially that match with The Rock. I wouldn't want to damage that in any way. Like, he should be unstoppable. Roman should be unstoppable. Roman should be just mowing through everyone. So if that means that we've got to sacrifice Drew along the way, then so be it. Drew will bounce back. He's got the title now. He's starting his second reign. Do you know what I mean? You can do loads of different things. So yeah, I very much would give it to Roman. Undertaker versus Fiend versus Fiend. Josh says, when are we getting more Toy Hunt videos? The shops are closed at the moment. We're in the UK, we're into our second lockdown. Our first one lasted from like March till June. And then this one started October and ends early December. So there was potential between June and October, and I really should have got one done. But as I said, when I did go to the shops, there was nothing new. I did actually go to try and do one, and there was nothing new. So that was a problem. So yeah, December. I will try and do one in December. Days, I'm thinking about drawing the Fiend this week, and I'd be happy to show you guys first. Yeah, tweet it over, dude. Do you think Big E will beat Roman for the title? I would like him to. I would hope that it would happen later, though. I mean, SummerSlam next year at the absolute earliest, like not before that at all. I think we do Roman, Rock, and I think we do Big E afterwards, but not immediately after. I think he needs building up. Rumors say Undertaker could be the 5th man, says Colin. Right, we got 5. Wow, we got 5 minutes. Days, what current star and star from the past would you think have made a good team? What star from now and star from the past would have made a good team? First one that comes to mind, Kurt Angle, Chad Gable. Both wrestlers, high level, loads in common. Technical, I could see them. We know that Gable's a fantastic tag team wrestler as well in American Alpha. In a way, actually thinking about it, that might be cheating because his partner was Jason Jordan, who they claim was Kurt Angle's son. So that might be where I've made that connection. But that was the first ones that just came to mind. But I suppose really you could take anyone and anyone. I mean, like, imagine Shawn Michaels and Austin Theory. That'd be incredible, wouldn't it? Shawn Michaels. I think Austin Theory is a great talent. And Shawn Michaels obviously used to be in the Rockers and everything. So you could put those two together, but there's loads, there's hundreds, maybe thousands that you could come up with. But there's a couple. Conception Sanchez, shout out to you. The clock is not on screen. I will fix that. I'm all over it. I'm going to fix it right now. Google time. Oh, flippity flip. Flippity flip. There we go. 4 minutes away, my friends, then, for this week's episode of SmackDown. Should be a lot of fun. Very much looking forward to it. And as we said, final touches for Survivor Series that is this Sunday. We are live on Sunday, and let me stress this. We are live before the kickoff show. So if you on Sunday are like, I've got a bit of time to wait or whatever, we will be live. You can join us, share your thoughts, and we'll be talking last minute news, last minute rumors, anything that's broken over the weekend, final predictions, any, tweets that have come out or blah, 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 blah. So we'll probably start an hour before the kickoff show, but it could be even more before that. I don't think I'm doing anything that day at all. The only thing is, I don't know what time I'll be getting up because, of course, it's UFC 255 tomorrow, which is a massive show, and that stream could be 7 hours long. So as soon as I'm done with that, I'll go to bed, and then when I get up, have something to eat, and I'll be good to go then, really, for Survivor Series. So yeah, I think we're looking to start about an hour before the kickoff show. So if you are at a loss on Sunday, then we will be here for that. And I think that was everything, I think we've kind of wrapped things up quite nicely with just 2 minutes to go until SmackDown begins. Glasgow Geek is here. Amazing. Surprised. I am surprised. Glasgow Geek. I am. But I'm also pleased for you. I'm gonna wait for him for Emma to read it out, the voiceover woman. Miss Clan One, shout out to you.
Glasgow Geek 1985 is a legend. They donated £5 via a super chat. Surprised? She's very cool and thank for welcoming her. Do you think Taker will pass the torch to Bray Wyatt this weekend?
That's a really good question. I don't know. I don't think he can. I don't know how he passes the torch this weekend. If he's standing in the ring and Wyatt attacks him and mandible claws him, I don't see that as passing the torch because to me that's a sneak attack. To me that's Undertaker being jumped basically. So I can't say that that's a passing of the torch moment. A proper passing of the torch moment would be Undertaker saying that my darkness, my legacy, will remain. My presence here, is now over. But the darkness will continue or something along those lines. My presence here has come to an end, but the darkness still lives. And it still lives with someone that I've been working with behind the scenes a long time. This is how you pass the torch. And then he introduces Bray, and Bray comes out and he shakes his hand and says, it's all yours now. And whatever. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you wanted a passing the torch moment, that's how you do it. But Fiend attacking Taker doesn't pass the torch. Beating Taker in a match would. Having a match where Taker's not jumped, that would do it. But I can't say it'd be a passing of the torch moment. But I can see a face-to-face. Right, we are underway. All right, let's start this. We got Street Profits backstage. The Undertaker. Street Profits talking about The Undertaker. Oh, look at that. Montez doing the eye thing and the lights go. No, it's not going to be him. Big E. Big E in some giant sombrero. He says it's all they had in props. So Big E talking to the Street Profits about their match. Big E, yeah. Fun, doing an Undertaker impression. So he's talking about their match with the New Day. What a segment, says Chalmers. Tyler says, we might see Undertaker tonight. That's an interesting thought. See, this is the problem with go-home shows. They are just promos, basically, of them saying, this Sunday I'm going to do this. This Sunday I'm going to do that. We'll break bread any day, but on this Sunday, we're going to beat your boys. That's what the Street Profits said. We want the smoke. Kofi and Woods are here. Don't you dare be sour. And feel the... He's doing the proper intro. Big E getting right in the face of Montez. And the New Day seem to be coming out into the Thunderdome. Yeah, they are. New Day making their way down to the ring. So, are they going to do a promo, or are they having a match, or what's happening here? New Day, yeah. Kofi and Woods. Big E needs a character change. Yeah. Well, I don't know if it's a character change or if he just needs to evolve it a little bit. I mean, he can still be him. And he can still have that kind of same character. But I think, like, stop being in New Day attire and all of that. Right, we've got Michael Cole and we've got Corey Graves. Okay, so it's a New Day promo. Xavier says, we know we don't go here anymore. Let's check into the Smackdown Hotel. They said we wanted to come back and see if there was any giant fists smashing through panes of glass. 2 days away from Survivor Series. I am tired of the Street Profits, but I expect Big E turns on Kofi and Xavier to help get the win for SmackDown, says BBYPSI. Heather, shout out to you, my friend. Brony says, why all the fake crowd noises? These are annoying. David Faith, shout out to you, my friend. That's a lovely fact. I hope that's true. I really hope that's true. What if one person married a horse? Do you know what I mean? There's those weird people that marry buildings, aren't there? Perhaps one was them. Perhaps more than one was them. Do you know what I mean? And it is New York as well. Someone probably married a bagel.
David Faith is a legend. They donated $5 Canadian via a super chat. Exactly 2,417,529 people in NYC got married last year. Not to cause any trouble, but shouldn't that be an even number?
I like the fact you said not to cause any trouble. Like, it was going to cause trouble. Like, we were all going to kick off, shut the stream down, and try and figure out what is going on. Now, I'm going to say, look, that last final person got married to a rat or something from New York. Got married to a sub. Sammy, appreciate the support, though, and I love the fact. And I love the fact she read that number correctly as well. I thought she was going to go 2453276. Sammy's coming down, and this segment is not holding my attention, to be honest. It's just this Sunday we're going to do this Sunday we're going to do that. And Sammy's talking about Bobby, of course. They probably married a bacon and cheese, says Mustafa. Definitely. That's definitely what they did. I'd have Orton retain the title at Rumble, even though Drew has been doing a brilliant job. I still want to see Edge have that moment at WrestleMania, and it could be the last time that we see it, says Febin. Yeah, it's a good point. It's a good point. See Wrestling, shout out to you. Oh, dude. You would have melted my mind, let alone hers. She ain't gonna know that. Is that even a number? If she comes up with quadrillion or something now, I will be so impressed. I will be so impressed. 245 quadrillion, 346 Dexitrillion.
See Wrestling is a legend.
Here we go.
They donated £2.99 via a super chat. She reads numbers. 245 sextillion, 346 quintillion, 190 quadrillion, 185 trillion, 200.
Oh, we got X-rated. We've gone X-rated. Oh my god. Oh my god. We've gone X-rated. I am so sorry to all the kids out there. I didn't know she was gonna come out with filth. I didn't know she was gonna start coming out with absolute filth. Oh, it's my favorite number. The old sextillion. Hello. Aren't they friends with the reptilians at the Firefly Funhouse? Isn't that what happens when two reptilians make love? You get sextillions. Oh my god, I cannot believe it. Cannot believe that. She completely blew my mind. I was just totally prepared for 2, 4, 5, 3, 4, 6, 1, 1. No, I didn't expect it to get. I can't even say it. I'm so English. I can't even bring myself to say the word because the Queen might get upset. So, do you know what I mean? That is incredible. Mind flipping blown. Mind blown. Oh, I'm so glad you did that during this boring segment as well, because all we've got is just people walking out. Like, people doing stuff. Oh, 6tillion? Woo! I didn't even know that was a number. I never knew that was a number. I didn't know that was a thing. Did anyone know that was a thing? Woo! Oh, I missed that lesson. James said Emma's probably having a cigarette now after reading that. She probably is, you're right. She's probably... Can't believe it. She's probably having a shower right now, isn't she? I need a shower after that. Unbelievable. Butterspark says sextillion, septillion, octillion, nonillion. Are these all... I don't know if they're real or are you just having a stroke? Wrestling Days fan says this opening is bad. It is bad. Look, we've got Dolph and Ziggler. I can't even be bothered to say names. We've got Sammy and King Corbin. We got Rude and Ziggler, and we got the New Day all just standing in the ring. I don't know what this is. Who? Do you know who might be better? This is awful. This is awful opening segment. Like, we're having to make our own entertainment. Shout out to C Wrestling. C Wrestling just provided more joy than the whole opening 11 minutes of this flipping show. Seven-star, shout out to you. Potatoes, tomatoes, inflatos, breezangos. Does she struggle with breezangos? I think she might. I can't remember. I don't even know what's happening now. This has now turned into the worst watch-along ever, because I don't know what's happening.
7-star is a legend. They donated $3 via a super chat. 17,472 potatoes, tomatoes, inflatos, and breezangos.
She said breezangos. I don't think she said it before. She definitely messed up Mysterio. But I didn't expect her to say that. She is on fine form. Fine form. She's been learning some words, hasn't she, since the last stream? They say that about computers. AI teaches itself, doesn't it? Gets better. It's going to run the world. She's going to take over the stream. Okay, so Dolph Ziggler and Rude attack New Day. Street Profits making their way down. This is awful. This is awful. Attack on the New Day. BBBYPSI says this promo is a 2.25 out of 10. Street Profits, maybe an 8-man tag. Well, we can only dream, not freeze. I mean, that's the dream, isn't it? That is the dream. So, yeah, I think you're right. I can see it being New Day and Street Profits against Rude. So, it's going to be New Day, Street Profits versus Rude, Ziggler, King Corbin, Sami Zayn. Woo! Richard said, do you think The Fiend will attack The Undertaker at Survivor Series? I think there's a very good chance of it, yes. I think there's a very good chance of it. Not the best promo, says Alan. Oh, she can't do that, Hunter. I don't even know if that is a number, my friend. Although saying that, I didn't even know that that last one was a number. This might be somewhat even kinkier. Do you know what I mean?
Hunter Crawford is a legend. They donated $5 via a super chat. This is horrible right nowadays anyways. Here is another 1-233-233-533-467-987-543-432-432.
This is crazy. Here's my number. Call me maybe. So, there we go. So, if you want to speak to Emma, there was her number that she was just shouting out on screen. No, legit, I don't even know if maths have got a word set up for that number, my friend. So, I think you actually beat not only Emma, but you beat maths.
David Faith is a legend. They donated 5 Canadian dollars via a super chat. Let's see if she speaks Japanese. Sujiwa kaiganda kagra oatimasu.
She couldn't do the sushi or whatever it is. But she gave the rest of it a little bit of a go. What does that mean, by the way? I will... Can I copy that text? Let's copy it. Oh, this better not be kinky. This better be not kinky. Here we go. Let me put it in. Paste. Translate. I like to fondle chickens. What? Is that what you typed? I like to fondle. Well, I mean, it's good to have a hobby, but I don't know if I would be shouting that out on a live stream. Certainly not a wrestling one, anyway. I mean, I suppose in a way that is wrestling. But shout out to you, David Faith. Shout out to you. I wonder if Carmela is going to be on the SmackDown team. We're going to have to wait and see. I think there's a good chance that she will be. Too Risky says, do you have an Instagram? There is an Instagram, but I'm never on it. So you can follow it. In fact, I was thinking of using it again soon. But it's going to be really boring, so it's up to you. Birak said, this is going to be the longest 8-man tag in the history of Go Home shows. This is already the longest. Well, it's not actually. Wrestling-wise, it's one of the longest 16 minutes of my life. But actually, 16-minute-wise, it's been rather lovely. I've had a great time. It's been one of my favourite 16-minute periods, actually. I think we've had a great laugh. So, yeah. We are back, and it is an 8-man tag match. The boyhood dream came true. So, we've got New Day and Street Profits versus Sami Zayn, King Corbin, some other people, I can't remember, Rude, and Ziggler. Ziggle Wiggle. There we go. Oh, God, just make it end. I honestly thought that this show had enough going into it whereby we weren't going to have any of these stupid matches, but, well, so is life. Because we've still got Seth versus Murphy, Daniel Bryan versus Jey Uso, the Drew Roman contract signing, but we've still got 3 spots that we've got to fill on the Survivor Series teams. So I honestly expected some qualifying matches. So I thought we'll have some qualifying matches.
The Bixie is a legend.
Daniel J.
They donated $2 via a super chat. Number 1 followed by 100 zeros. It is called One Google.
Is it? 1 followed by 100 zeros is One Google. But have they got names going all the way up to it? Or is it just like nothing? Oh, we better name that. Let's call it a Google. Like, is one with 1,000 zeros after a Ash Jeeves? Like, how does it work? One of them has got to be called an Alta Vista. That actually was my search engine of choice back in the day. Well, I like Jeeves. I did like Jeeves. But I did use Alta Vista as well. But I wasn't against Google.
Colby is a legend.
But
they donated $2 Canadian via a super chat. I would rather see an 8-potato tag match.
I'd rather see that. That's the kind of content I really should be bringing to the channel, in all fairness. Just get one of them toy wrestling rings and 8 potatoes and do an 8-potato tag match. Rude is down in the corner being stomped away on by the New Day. Shout out to you, Colby. Shout out BBBYPSI. Appreciate the support, my friend. Jay fighting tonight, he is. He's facing Daniel Bryan, yes. Creed wants to know, does she speak Spanish? Well, she was there or thereabouts with the Japanese.
Creed is a legend. They donated £4.99 via a super chat. Does she speak Spanish? Hola mi nombre es Moy soy estúpida.
Yes, she does. She does. She did a really good job. She did really well with that. Maybe she is Spanish. Perhaps she is Spanish also, because she did that like a natural. Let's have a look. What does this translate as? paste this in. Translate. So Creed says, I wish Goldberg was my baby daddy. Well.
7-star is a legend.
Okay,
they
Creed.
donated $3 via a super
Wild.
chat. Chinese. Xiao Kai Tian Tian Quan Potato.
Yes! Wow. She's all over this, isn't she? Perhaps she's got something against the Japanese. Because there was one of them Japanese words that she wouldn't touch. But Spanish, all over it, baby. Chinese, no problem. English, she does very well. I think we all like the little on the potato. So, yes, excellent work by Emma, who's nailing Chinese. 7-star, shout out to you.
Jonathan Woobiding is a legend.
Dragging it back to wrestling.
They donated $5 via a super chat. What would be the most shocking twist is the Street Profits became disciples of the Monday Night Messiah, cried the Night Savior.
I really like that. I don't know why you retracted it, dude. I really like it. I think it's a really good shout. I would love for the Street Profits to evolve. I've had enough of them bringing the smoke and all of that. I think they were fine. I think they were fun, but I don't know if it's already run its course. I don't know. I can't tell if it hasn't properly got going or if it's already run its course. But either way, it's stalled. It is absolutely stalled. So
C Wrestling is a legend. They donated £4.99 via a super chat.
I like it.
Okay, I am bored now. Grimacing face. Catch days Bubs and Carmela Loop on Soleil Yeshaw set sales.
Okay, now I'm really gonna have to translate this one because knowing C, it's just gonna be something absolutely horrific. It's about me. It'll be something horrific about me. I mean, I can already see my name in it. It's going to be no surprise. It's going to be Days hasn't had a shower since the 1980s. Or something along these lines. Translate English. Do you know what? I don't even have to read it out because when you actually translate it, it does it for you. So what I want you to do, people, is I want you to listen to this and I want you to know that it's C Wrestling that sent this through. See, brilliant YouTuber. If you've not checked out his channel, check it out. And this is what he says.
Wrestling Day's beard smells like Sonny Wolf dirty socks.
There we go. That is the highbrow, intellectual comments that are being fed through right now. Again, if you missed
Wrestling Day's beard smells like Sonny Wolf dirty socks.
There we go. Who's this woman as well? We've got different... I can't change her, I don't think. I think I'm stuck with this one. That's just the Google woman. So, there we go. Scenes. Do you know what? This flipping community is getting us all through this first 20-odd minutes. By the way, you're not missing anything. If you're like, what is happening on the wrestling? First of all, it doesn't matter. Second of all, it's commercial break. So, you're not missing anything at the moment. Apart from us all aging very rapidly. Very rapidly. Monday Night Raw's ads just played the 2019's legendary theme by mistake. Oh dear. Oh dear. Do you think WWE made both the US and Intercontinental Championships irrelevant? I think they could have done a lot more to make that. I do like both champions. I think both champions are probably right. So I do like that. But I don't know why they can't main event a couple of shows. Can't main event a couple of B shows or something. And do you know what I mean? I really feel like SummerSlam 92 did a lot for the Intercontinental Championship. Having it Davey Boy, Bret Hart, main event, Wembley Stadium. Do you know what I mean? It felt like a massive, massive deal. And you could argue that that was like the IC title at its zenith. Because it had just come off like Mr. Perfect being champion, and then you've got Bret Hart being champion. Like, you just got all these great champions. It's getting all this high profile spotlight. I'd love to see them do more with that belt. Give it some, you know what I mean, main events. Creed, shout out to you, my friend. Michael Cole says it's going to be a very special and very emotional moment.
Creed is a legend. They donated £1.99 via a super chat. Des son fan de la lucha libre de C. Cool face.
She's very good, isn't she? I must admit, I'm very impressed with, like, I didn't know she could do all these foreign languages. I was going to say it won't read it out, but it will. And this
Days is a fan of C's Wrestling.
C's Wrestling? It's your new name? C's
Days
Wrestling?
is a fan of C's Wrestling.
There we go. C's Wrestling. It belongs to C. It's true. C Wrestling's been on the channel for a long, long time.
Days is a fan of C's Wrestling.
Days es un fan de la lucha libre de C.
Isn't that interesting that in Spanish, obviously, lucha libre?
Days es un fan de la lucha libre de C.
That does mean that I am Lucha Libre Days, and C is C Lucha Libre in Spanish. I'm Lucha Libre Days! Yes! Where's my mask? Where's my mask? I never thought about that before, but I am Lucha Libre Days. I haven't got a mask. No, I have got a mask, but I don't know where it is. Oh, well, that's all fallen flat, hasn't it? You should always have a mask at hand. And I do have one. Oh.
Hunter Crawford is a legend.
Oh, hello.
They donated $5 via a super chat. Does she speak French? Days Amy Divina CK Nudison stands difference long.
Or is this whole stream just going to be me translating stuff? Is that what... right, we've got Montez Ford in there with Ziggler. We are still underway with this thing that's happening to us all. I'll translate this one. Here we go. Boom.
Days likes to guess what we say in different languages.
I don't have to guess. I don't have to guess. I've got this software that will work it out for me. And also, I'm very good at different languages, so sometimes I can just look and just work out what's being said. So I'm all over this. I'm all over this. Shout out to you, Hunter Crawford. Appreciate the support, dude. She nailed it. She nailed the French. Kick to the midsection by Robert Roode. We've got to be getting towards the end of this. We've got to, guys. We've got to. We've got to be getting towards the end. I mean, honestly, I don't think I've ever given a show, like, minus numbers, but this is so dull. That lady is hilarious, says Tyler. She is quite funny. Is this match over yet, says Adam. No, it's not. We're all aging. We're all aging as we're watching this match carry on. I gotta say, this is doing nothing. It might be for someone out there, and if it is, brilliant. But it is doing nothing to promote this weekend for me. Nothing. Sammy gets tagged in. He didn't want to go into the ring. But he gets tagged. Dawkins gets brought into the ring. Spinebuster gets planted down by Dawkins. Montez going up top. Here we go. The flying forward. Boom! Connects. Montez Ford. 1, 2, 3. And I am so excited that this match is over. Yes! 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 David Faith, shout out to you. Let's flip back. What is being said? I am just translating days now.
David Faith is a legend. They donated 5 Canadian dollars via a super chat. Jab eine Minute das wird alles immer sein Didinger übersetzt.
German? Yes, drowsiness. I don't get... Is that translated incorrectly?
Yes, drowsiness. It will all be Emma translating things.
What? That woman sounded drowsy, didn't she? Yes, drowsiness. It's like she couldn't be bothered to say the word. Yes, drowsiness. Drowsiness means like tired, lethargic. Very much like how this woman sounds.
Yes, drowsiness. It will all be Emma translating things.
Yes, drowsiness.
Babipsy is a legend.
Oh,
They donated $2 via a super chat. Russian Lana.
Talk to me. I've turned into Randy Orton. Oh my god, Russian. Right, they're just previewing what's coming up for the rest of tonight. Did she do it? Did she do the Russian? I didn't hear. I didn't hear her do it. Perhaps she works for Russia. Will this translate Russian? Should do, shouldn't it? As soon as I type this in, do I just get hacked? Okay, that's
7
cool.
Star is a legend. They donated $3 via a super chat. Arabic. Days Mittelhoa Olsplatal Zaghira.
Okay, well, hang on. I've got to do one at a time. We've got Daniel backstage with a new haircut. Look at his new hair. Shaved at the sides. This is what was just said.
Says the scenes are tables, Lana tables.
Lana tables. BBY, PSI. I think we got Arabic on the go, haven't we? Let's do a little bit of Arabic. Hang on, 7 Star. Here we go. Daniel pushes. Daniel looks cool, doesn't he? He's doing one of them at the moment. Look at that. So he's got his mask up. He's talking about social distancing and a mask. But he looked kind of cool in it. With his, like, the sides of his head shaved. And this bit was like... It's how I used to have my hair, actually. Oh my god. I am such a fashion icon. I think he's seen some old Wrestling Days videos. And he's gone, oh, I like that. Because that is exactly how I used to have my hair. Not like how I've got my hair now. But, like, then it was shaved at the sides. Slicked back on top. They used to call me the lady killer. Because of the murders. Right, hang on. Let's try the Arabic thing. Let's give the Arabic thing a go. It looks like there aren't many great matches for your search. Just like the dating apps that go on. Will it not translate Arabic to English? What's going on here? It won't do it. Google is Arabicist. Tip, try using words that might appear on the page that you're looking for. For example, cake recipes instead of how to make a cake. I'm not looking to make a cake, am I? What is it? I don't even know what this is Arabic for. Is this Arabic for I want cake? What am I looking for? I only want to translate this to English. Why is this a problem? Google. Translate. Let me just put translate. Let's see if that makes a difference. I don't know why they're talking about cake. It's not as if I've even been searching for cake. It won't do it. I haven't got a clue what it says. Well, it'll always remain a mystery. Let's scroll down. I hope there's a Survivor Series qualifying match. I hope there's a Survivor. I just hope there's any match that I care about tonight. I just hope something happens that I want to see. Go Cleveland Browns, yes. What will happen with Randy now that he is no longer champ? What will happen with Randy now that he is no longer champ? He'll go to AEW. I mean, he won't, but... I mean, that was the most fun thing I could think of. He's going to feud with the Dark Order. He's going to feud with Marco Stunt. Days, what has happened to your channel? Oh, it's amazing. Just when you think it couldn't get worse, just when you thought, I'm pretty sure we've hit the bottom, we found a way to go lower. We found a trapdoor. We found a basement. And
Alan
so
Jason
now
is a
we've gone
legend.
even lower.
They donated 60 rupees via a super
Now I've got
chat.
to translate this, Alan.
Thumbs up.
What does that translate as in Arabic? Alan Jason. Shout out to you, my friend. Heather says, I think the Russians have been too short. Oh, what? Has she not been reading them or something? Has that been... She won't read the Russian stuff? Why did they take the title off him in the first place? No one knows. Well, Vince knows. Days, will you ever go back to that hairstyle? I honestly live my life day by day. Which is pretty much true. So I have no thoughts about grooming, about hairstyles, about anything along those lines. So maybe I will, maybe I won't. I definitely don't want to commit to anything right here and now. I'd hate to say no and then I end up doing it. I'd hate to say yes and then I end up not doing it. So I can't say. I can't say. Sonny, shout out to you. Oh, I can see the word buttocks. Kayla with Daniel. Yeah, new hair. Smile on his face. He is looking good. All right, we're going to see from a few weeks back. Okay, Sonny.
My socks are full of murders. The rocks are stolen and painted. Jingle dingle buttocks from crazy nasty yee-hoo.
I mean, I do love that first line. I love how she just went, my socks are full of murders. Like, it was just so... It just like, yeah. Like, this is it. Fun. She said it with such conviction. I want
My socks are full of murders. The rocks are stolen and painted. Jingle dingle buttocks from crazy nasty yee-hoo.
Yee-hoo. I think my email account's with them. We are seeing from 3 weeks ago, Jey Uso destroying Daniel Bryan. Daniel watching the footage backstage. He was on a stretcher. He gets knocked off that stretcher. My socks are full of murders. Yeah, there he's on his stretcher. He's watching it. The planet's champion. I can see why you would think. I don't like it. That yes shirt. That tree shirt doesn't do it for me. Jey Uso's got a devil on his shoulder. Everyone's got an angel on one shoulder and a devil on another.
As I'm getting ready for this match, as I watch that footage, who do you think's speaking louder to me? Who do you think is reminding me of the time I spent in the hospital? Who do you think is reminding me that I couldn't pick up my kid? Who do you think is reminding me of my daughter crying every single time that she saw me?
Good promo. Good promo from Daniel. Daniel says, I'm not concerned about coming back too soon. It's Jey Uso that should be concerned. So Daniel walks away. Okay, so Adam Pearce is talking to someone, but we can't see who it is. Final member is Otis. Otis is the final member. So there's no qualifying match. I don't understand. Why is there no everyone else qualifies except for Otis? Thank you, Adam. Here's Natalia. You've got the power to pick someone. Bailey added to the Women's Survivor Series. So Bailey and Otis. There's still one spot for the women. Is this a qualifying match? So this might be a qualifying match. I think Natalia's got a qualifying match. So Adam Pearce gets to choose, apparently. One person for team... the men's team and one person for the women's team. He's chosen Otis and he's chosen Bailey. That's who he's gone for. Why did they put Otis on the team? Bailey, I mean, look, we were talking about this before. She does make sense. She definitely should be on the pay-per-view. I suppose does it now just get her out the way and then you can run with the Carmela Sasha feud? But she can't be happy with it. She can't... Why would she just accept that that's it? I don't understand. I still need some more clarity on the whole Sasha, Bailey, Carmela thing. I was hoping Biggie. That was the rumor. Days, do you think Randy will be the one to face Undertaker since he's the legend killer and he will beat the legend Undertaker? I don't think so. I don't think Undertaker's having a match, to be honest. It's going to be Natty versus Tamina. What about Billie Kay? Has Billie Kay had an opportunity? Well, she did, didn't she? But Natalia's had opportunities. Billie Kay should be in the match. Natty is the boat. I will go down on that ship. I will go down on that ship. And I put my hands up and surrender. There will be known. It's White Flag, isn't it? Dido. 7-star says, oh well, oh my what is this 7-star? I don't even know what this means. Even my brain can't translate this. Hang on, I've got the translating screen open. It wouldn't do it last time, though, would it? It wouldn't do it for the Arabic. Let's see. I think she's going to nail it. She's been doing very well. Okay. Do you know, amazingly... Oh, I was going to say it won't read it out, but it will now. It will now. I'll wait for her to say it first, and then I'll tell you what it means.
7-star is a legend. They donated $5 via a super chat. Swahili? Shakesha Chukuku La Vaitsi Kwenye Kilima.
The Chukuku bit sounds like the Beatles, doesn't it?
Funny potatoes in the agriculture.
There we go. Funny potatoes in the agriculture. I can't imagine that was the exact wording that you went for. I can't imagine that the sentence you chose to translate was funny potatoes in the agriculture. But that's how it's translated. And I love this Google woman as well. She says everything with such gusto. Apart from the word drowsiness, where she sounds tired.
Funny potatoes in the agriculture.
Funny potatoes in the agriculture. We are getting closer as well to Tyson and Roy Jones Jr. We will be covering that. Love Postman Pierce says Butterspark. Here's Seth. He's talking to Murphy. We got 15 minutes till we're at the halfway point. I took you under my wing and I saved you. I am responsible. He's responsible for every good thing that he has. Your career. Your bright future. Even your beautiful girlfriend. If it weren't for me, you would never even have met Aaliyah. And what do I get in return? Stabbed in the back. I just hope this is a great match. I just really want a great Seth match. That's what I want. Just want a really, really great Seth Rollins match. After I've taught you my final lesson, you will go back to being what you were. Irrelevant. Nothing. Nothing. You will go back to being what you were before I saved you. Nothing. So I don't know if we're going to get Raw invading. We're certainly setting up for a big final hour, though, because we haven't had Seth versus Murphy. We haven't had Daniel Bryan, Jey Uso. We haven't had the Drew Roman contract signing. We've got Natalia. We've got Tamina. Is it just one-on-one? Bianca Belair's on commentary. With, like, sparkly glasses that you definitely couldn't see through. There's no way she can see through those. Bayley making her way down. Here's Bayley. Do you remember me? What's she coming down for? She's not in wrestling attire. So is she going to be on commentary? Right, we are underway. It is Tamina and Natalia. I'm disappointed that Billie Kay isn't in this match. It is qualifying for that final spot. You wouldn't have guessed this was a go-home show, says Imtiaz. Oh, God, I know. Bayley on commentary. Natalia gets thrown into the ring steps. Chelsea Green is there. You just can't see her, says 7-star. Bayley says she's the captain. Bayley should be the captain in all fairness. Bianca says that you just got named on the team. There's Liv and Ruby backstage. They can never afford 2 separate suits, can they? They always have to share a suit. I don't know if you've noticed that, but they're having to share a suit again. Liv is wearing the skirt. Ruby is wearing the jacket. You would think they would have earned enough by now to have bought 2. Nice. Discus lariat. Looking for a sharpshooter. Trying to put it on Tamina. Turns her middle of the ring. Oh, she's a little over by the rope. So she taps. She taps. Tamina taps. So there we go. Natalia has made it onto the team. The captain, the boat. The captain and the boat. Bayley is calling the rest of the team to come down. Bayley telling Bianca Belair to get into the ring, and Belair's like, no. No way, girlfriend. Natalia goes over, gives Bayley a big hug. No, Bianca doesn't want anything to do with it. Team bonding. How long is it taking Ruby and Liv to get down that entrance ramp? Well, I've got to tell you, Natalia's very excited. I wonder if it'll come down to Lana and Natalia as the final two. I could see it. I could see that. Gets down to Lana and Natalia. Lana sole survivor. So there we go. Ruby, Liv, Natalia, Bianca, Bailey. She kissed the ref. Right, 10 minutes. It was because Raw was so good and WWE didn't want us to get our hopes up with SmackDown. Okay, so what's the next match? We just got a little preview about Drew and Roman. Does that mean the captain can ride the boat? Maybe. Female Survivor Series matches are always terrible. I'm sorry. Says only here for the comments. Raw easily has the better team, says 1987 Big Fan. OMG, a recap. Really? More wasted time, says Colby. Yeah, well, I think we were always going to get quite a bit of this. But I think it's just been like what we have got in between has not been nowhere near good enough. Like an 8-man tag match that just didn't matter. Natalia Tamina qualifying match that took all of a few minutes. This year, SmackDown's women's team deserved to win, says Tattoo. BBBYPSI says, Dave's fun fact, Natalia also has the most losses ever for a female wrestler. Is that true? She's won the most and lost the most. Has she really lost the most matches? That's wild. Miss Count 1 says Strawberry Bonbons. That would be my Survivor Series name, yeah. If I had a team, I would call them the Strawberry Bonbons. The captain goes down with the boat. We're still talking wrestling here, aren't we? Drew Jobbin Tire, says John. Brony says the first hour has not been great at all. Chalmers said it's surreal to now say that Drew is a 2-time world heavyweight champion. Kind of disappointed that because of COVID, we can't have Raw invading SmackDown, says Brandon. Well, to be honest, I still expected something. I mean, they're going to have to be in the ring with each other on Sunday, so why can't they do something on the Friday? Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. Like, you're doing the match on Sunday, so if everyone's been tested and they're all clear, why can't you do something on the Friday? So, I don't know. I was kind of expecting there to be something. I wasn't expecting whole locker rooms, but just the 5 people that made up the men's team or something. I don't know if I was expecting it, but I thought there was a chance. Drew McIntyre making his way down. So now we might finally, 53 minutes into this show, we might be getting started. Drew McIntyre and Roman Reigns. Contract signing. This show just got real. This show just got real. Drew McIntyre making his way out. He doesn't have his sword. That's only for battle. I say keep the title on Drew for a while. He looks class, says Ryan Reynolds. He does look good. He does look good with it. He's got a good look. He's got a good look. I do find his promos to be a bit cringe. That's a bit of something that I'd like him to work on. And he just needs like better matches, better feuds. I mean, a match against Roman very much will help. But I don't think he gets the win, to be honest. I think Roman does. Thank F for that. We finally get something interesting, says James Chadwick. Aiden saying the same. Finally, people that I want to see on TV. Mark Clark says this SmackDown has been terrible so far. Roman will beat Mountain Drew, says Eric. Natalia is now the float. Female loses all time. Boat must be able to float or it'll sink. Wow, you've put a lot of thought into that. Respect. Brother Nero says, do you think WWE will humanize the Fiend now that he's with Alexa? No, not yet. Too soon. I mean, like, Kane didn't, like, humanize for a good 3 years or so, did he? 3-4 years. So, I mean, well, we're what, a year into this? Just over a year? I think we've still got a long way to go. We haven't even had the Orton feud yet, so far too soon. Days, I'd like to point out that the quote on quote sword that Drew had last week was supposed to be a Claymore. Obviously, his finishing name is a Claymore, and so it's Scottish. Okay. I don't quite know what you mean. Quote unquote. Oh, the sword was meant to be a Claymore sword. Right. Natty has over 700 losses and 632 wins. She should, they could turn that to a story. She is currently minus 68. Her win-loss record is minus 68. So she could try to get that back to a positive number, and they could turn that into a thing. Her just having matches to try and move the number and try and improve her legacy. That could be interesting. I wish they would use stats like that a little bit more, because I think that would be interesting. Right, McIntyre in the ring. We haven't had Roman yet. Table set up in the ring as well. 3 minutes till the halftime scores. So the next commercial break we'll do that. Adam Pearce is in the ring in the power position, if you will. It's kind of place that Michael Cole would normally sit, isn't it? He'd normally do these, but they've got Adam Pearce doing it instead. Moderating, I think it's called. Okay. Roman's music hits. SmackDown so far 2.56. McIntyre's nickname should be the Scottish Sword. Kane was at his best before he spoke. Still no Roman. They're playing the music. Drew's looking around, making sure he's not being sneak attacked. But Roman's come walking out. Roman's come out with Paul. When is Roman getting a new song? I don't know. I don't know that he is, to be honest. I know that Keith Lee did record some new vocals, apparently, for a new song. But we haven't seen any evidence of that yet. Drew sitting with a little expression. I don't know what kind of expression that was. But Roman holding up that Universal Championship. Still on the entrance stage. Very slowly. Everything is doing. Operating on Roman time. There was like I saw like a grandmother then in the Thunderdome. I just saw like a really old lady. Straight up, I just saw a really old lady. That is awesome. Normally, when you see like a really old lady in the crowd, you just presume they've brought grandkids or something. Well, I do. But she must have chosen to be there. That's awesome. That's really cool. He has made that title so prestigious. CGI Roman has hit the tanning bed, says Esteban. We did get a CGI Roman, and he was looking very bronzed. He was looking very healthy. He'd gone very Donald Trump. So, yeah, he had put on a bit of bronzer, applied a bit of colour, been on a tanning bed. Maybe he'd been at Mar-a-Lago. I don't know. I don't know what CGI Roman gets up to. Roman is only now just getting into the ring. No wonder they've given this, like, maybe this is the whole second hour. By the time they've sat down, said a few words, and signed the contracts, it'll be time to end the show. Roman wants to sit at the head of the table. So there we go. Roman sitting at the head of the table. Staring at Drew. This does have a big fight feel, man. This is the biggest fight Roman's had since he's come back. Glasgow Geek 1985, shout out to you, my friend. He is looking at Drew lovingly, isn't he? Look at that. There's a little smirk on his face, look.
Glasgow Geek 1985 is a legend. They donated £2 via a super chat. Come on, Murphy.
Roman says, I believed you would do it. I knew. Paul, not so much, but I knew. I've been in your shoes. All these lessons I've already learned. You're the right guy. You're the right guy in the right place at the wrong time. That is so good. You want me to flip this table? I wonder if he gets all his new charisma from his teeth. Do you think they've made a massive difference? Perhaps the teeth are running the show now? I'm going to get straight to the point. You told me. Win a title. And I did it. This is very, very compelling. This is like... Oh. Drew signs the contract. Now it's your turn. Your show. Your move. He goes to get the contract, but Drew still holds on to it. Please underestimate me. Oh, that's great from Drew. That's great from Drew. I love it when he's not cutting stupid promos. Arrogant, kind of all this. But there, brilliant. Use these 2 days of peace to prepare for war is a great line. Roman looking at the contract. You're going to give me advice. Oh, I'm like this. I'm like this. You're advising the tribal chief. I give you advice. I'll teach you one last lesson. You're a secondary title holder. How dare he? That's the WWE Championship. How dare the Universal Champion say that the WWE Champion is a secondary title? Oh, it's got me hot. Roman's got me hot now. He's going to badmouth that title that's been around the waist of the likes of Bruno Sammartino and around the waist of Hulk Hogan, Stone Cold, The Rock, The Undertaker. Who's carried your belt, Roman? Goldberg. This is great, says Sam Man 8. You're right. I'm the head of the table. This is great. Sam Man 882. Honestly. One day, you will have the opportunity to be the man.
Sandman 882 is a legend. They donated $2 via a super chat. This is great.
You'll look back at these nights and you'll thank me. You'll have the opportunity to be the man. Maybe that's who Seth's going to have a baby with next, Drew. You're going to love me. You're going to love me for the things that I've taught you. And I'm going to love you right back. What are they doing on Sunday? What kind of war is Sunday? You're going to love me and I'm going to love you right back. You'll always be my favourite number 2. Are they having a sextillion match? What's going on? What's happening on Sunday? Velcro. Velcro. Heard Velcro ripping. That ruined the mood. They're piping in "you suck" chants. No one's going to be chanting "you suck" at Roman. I mean, the secondary title thing was a bit off, but other than that, great promos all round. This SmackDown is very much like, if someone was to ask me how was SmackDown, I'd be like, imagine if you got engaged and the person you're getting engaged with dropped that engagement ring into the sewer and you had to go down to find it. So you had to wade through a sewer of absolute awfulness, unspeakable awfulness, to try and find a beautiful diamond ring that had fallen down there. That was SmackDown. That was SmackDown. We had to wade through unspeakable awfulness to get to a diamond, and that segment was a diamond. It was really, really good stuff. No fight. Didn't need it. Didn't need it. I'm tired of contract signings ending in brawls. Roman didn't need to do that. Signed it. Said what he got to say. Compelling. Edge of the seat stuff. Loved it. Walked away. Beautiful. Lovely. I'm sure there's people that are like, oh, I wish they'd have fought, but it doesn't need it. And that wouldn't really fit Roman's character. He's a bit more cool, calm, collected, subdued, thoughtful. So him to just start smashing up Drew, I don't know. It wouldn't work. WWE just need to make Pierce GM of Raw and SmackDown. Make Pat Buck executive director of both. Well, I think they finally found out who we need to beat Roman at WrestleMania this year. You think they'll go that way, do you? Problem with what Roman was saying is that he has the Universal title. It's Drew that's got the main belt. Yes, I mean, in our eyes, yes. But I can see that in his eyes, he's going to see the belt that he's carrying as being the belt, isn't he? So I can't criticize him. I can't criticize him, and I can't criticize it. I mean, you are right. It's, if there is a secondary title, it's the Universal, but I can't criticize Roman for saying opposite. Very good. Very, very good. Pumped in crowd noise is ridiculous. I didn't really notice it, to be honest, apart from the "you suck" at the very end. I mean, it's not really Roman's fault he doesn't have the main belt. If he was on Raw, then he would be the main champion. I honestly think WWE do see them as being equal. I don't know that WWE fans do, but I do think that WWE see them as equal. They do treat them as equal. They do both main event, pay-per-view. If anything, you could say the Universal has actually been given a bit more of a spotlight in recent years than the WWE title has. But I think in fans' eyes, and certainly in my eyes, the Universal, which has only been around since 2016, is very, very much the secondary title. I can't wait to see Drew Roman at Survivor Series, says Hayden. Javier, shout out to you, dude. We have got Seth. Is it just me, or have we gone a little while without a break? Seth versus Murphy coming up next. Fiend should be at Survivor Series, says Jane. Oh, here we go. Here's that comment. Right. Half-time scores. Get your half-time scores in. What do you think of the show so far? Are you a fan? Are you not a fan? Do you think that it's been flats? Did you like that segment? How are you? What number are you giving it? What number are you giving it? Uh, 3 out of 10. 4.9 out of 10 says Shaquem. 5 out of 10. 10 out of 10. 9.65. 5. 7. 3. 4.5. 4. 3.7. 5. 4.5. 6, 7, 5, 4, 5, 3.7, 5. These are low, man. These are low. These are unsurprisingly low. 5, 5, 7, 3.7, 6.5, 5, 6, 6, 8, 5, 5, 6, 5. I'm saying 5 a lot. I've never said 5 so much. 5, 5, 5, 3.7, 4.5. Days, the Universal Champion is about as prestigious as the World Heavyweight title was. I think that's a fair comparison. 5.5, 4, 8, 6, 7, 7. 100 sextillions out of 10, says Drift Lewis. My favourite number 2 out of 10, says Esteban. 3.7 says Lacey. I wonder if Drew will turn the dub upside down if he wins the title. He's had it before, and I mean, he's already got the title. He's already champ. He never did it. I think that would be more a Miz. I could see the Miz doing that. If Miz won the title now, then I could see him doing that. Why is Otis on the team? Because. Just because. 5, 5.25, 5, 5, 7.75. I think there's a lot of 5s that are coming through. BBBYPSI says 4.5. Up the score, Days. We need Nia Jax to put Lana through a table. That's a Raw thing, isn't it? So I'm not expecting that to go down tonight. But we do know that we've got 45 minutes to go. We know that we've got Jey Uso, Daniel Bryan. We know that we've got Seth versus Murphy coming up next as well. So a few things coming up. And obviously Seth versus Murphy coming up very, very soon. If you are just joining us, Bayley and Natalia are the 2 that have been added to the Women's Survivor Series team. The rumours of Big E were not true. They could have been true, and they changed their minds, but it's Otis that has joined the team. So maybe Big E is going to get involved in that match. Maybe Big E will cost Kofi and Xavier. Murphy coming out with Tuck, who is wearing a shirt and a belt. I mean, if I was Ray, I would be horrified. I'd be like, you are not going out in that. It's just a big shirt. It's like she's wearing Andre the Giant's shirt, and she's got a belt around her waist as well. And that's it. And Rey Mysterio has been shopping at Beige R Us. Murphy telling Dom and Ray, I've got this. Murphy in the ring, goes for a knee strike, spinning back fist, gets driven back into the corner. Yep, Tuck has made her way down. There's nothing to Tuck. She's gone for no Tuck. She's gone for no Tuck because she's not wearing anything on the lower part of her body. That is adventurous, isn't it? Look at that. Literally just rocking Andre the Giant shirt. Kicked by Murphy. Murphy hurled into the barricade. Murphy goes down. In your opinion, how do you see the Undertaker segment playing out? Who do you think will interrupt? I think Fiend. I would think Fiend. I could imagine the Undertaker gets to say a few words. The lights start to go and it's, here we go. Lights go out. They come back on. And I don't know if the Fiend attacks him or if he just stands and stares at him. Can't figure it out. I can't figure out if it's just going to be a show of respect or if the Fiend attacks. Do you know what I mean? Like game recognizing game. Darkness recognizing darkness. Seth getting right in the face of Murphy, tying him up in the ropes. I wonder if Seth gets written off tonight, then Murphy takes his place on Sunday. I should imagine Seth will go to Survivor Series and Murphy will just Netflix and chill with Tuck. Seth has got a kendo stick. Daze, do you want more French to translate? I think we're all right. I think the show's getting watchable. Big strike by Seth. Ray goes down. Ray face first into the announce table. Dominic comes running round. Overhand right by Seth. Tuck's like, oh my god, oh my god. Lots of people that I'm related to are being thrown all over this arena. Murphy goes out the ring, goes over. Stops Seth from stomping on Dominic. Throws him into the barricade. Tuck's on her own, man. She's on her own. Mr. Beige is down. Brother Mysterio's down. Murphy just got pushed into the barricade. Murphy, get up. It's really good advice. That is exactly why she's there. That is exactly why she's there. Murphy pushed into the barricade. And Tuck goes, Murphy, get up. Get up, Murphy. Oh, my God. Her leg, she proper went then, didn't she? Was she meant to fall like that? Because that looked awkward. She proper went. She was like Bambi on ice. Proper went and Tuck did. Tuck Mysterio is hot. It is old style females used to wear that look in the 80s. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of women that were around in the 80s that are going to really appreciate being called old style females. Oh, you're one of them old style females? Not the new style, not the upgraded models that we get now. You're one of them old styles. You're one of them, aren't you one of them like 2.0 females? I think we're up to like version 5.3 or something now. So you're one of them old style females. Well, there we go. Jesus, that fall. It was a nasty looking fall, actually. I mean, all joking aside, it didn't look like she fell the way she was probably meant to. She's there to inspire Murphy to show his love for Seth with some chair shots. Other mother. Shout out to you, my friend. LeBron fan says old style female. I know. I do love that. It's very good. Very good. We are at commercial break, by the way. We are at commercial break. Fletch says, I think it might be Undertaker versus Kane. Tuck is so untucked right now. It's true. It's true. She couldn't be further away from Tuck, could she? Murphy walks into a backstage room and Tuck is like, hold on, I'll be right out. I'm showering. Then Chris Hansen walks out. Hello, buddy. Do you know who I am? I don't know who that is. I don't know who Chris Hansen is. Is he... I don't know. Would Murphy be pleased at that? Is he a good-looking guy? I don't know. Maybe Murphy would be like, well, that's good. I don't know. This show has been pretty flat, says Monica King. 7 Star says a Windows 7 female. Yeah. Yes. Oh. Windows 7 female. One of them Apple II females. One of them SNES females. This Christmas, I'm hoping to get one of them PS5 females. One of them proper, do you know what I mean? I do love that. It's excellent. Excellent. Chris Hansen is to catch a predator. Oh, he probably wouldn't be happy then, because I think it implies that Murphy would be in trouble. I've never seen that show, you know. I've heard of it, but I don't know. Do you know what? This is honest truth, and I'm a little bit ashamed to admit this. As soon as I read Chris Hansen, I was like, is that the guy that did Sesame Street? That was my first thought, and I don't know who that was, but I feel like it's a very similar name. But I would love to see a Chris Hansen Sesame Street, because there's a good chance you could catch a predator there. But anyway. Takanori needs to culminate with a wedding, says LB. Days, imagine if Nia puts Lana through a table at Survivor Series. We've got, yes, that's it. Jim Henson. Jim Henson, that's the Sesame Street man. What's the other one called? Chris Hansen. They're basically the same. Basically the same. Murphy in the corner. Big strikes coming in. We got 37 minutes to go. I do love the Mysterios. All 3 of them on the edge of the ring banging away. I would just burst out laughing, man. If I was Murphy and I was in a fight and I turned around, you got Dominic, you got Tuck, you got Ray pounding on it like this. Demanding more food. I'd be like... That's funny. Over the top. That looks ridiculous. That looked ridiculous. All 3 of them pounding on the edge of the ring look silly. Oh, this has been such a fun comedy storyline, considering it's not meant to have been comedy at all. I would have liked to have seen the Hanson brothers from that hockey movie with Paul Newman on Sesame Street, says John. Falcon Arrow 2. Kick out by Murphy. Yeah. Kick out by Murphy. Honestly, in those clothes, is it just me or does Rey Mysterio look like a granddad? I really think he... Look at them go! Yeah! Boop, 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 boop. Oh, I don't know why I find it so funny. Just pounding on the edge of the ring. 3 Mysterios. Brilliant. I feel like there's a nursery rhyme there. The 3 Mysterios nursery rhyme. Big strikes by Seth. Big right hand back by Murphy. Big right hand back by Seth. They're on the edge of the ring. The hardest part of the ring. Even though it's the hardest part of the ring, the Mysterios still slap away at it. Oh, that was a great knee strike. That was a great knee strike. That was good. Grandpa Mysterio has come round. Why was he wearing beige? I don't understand. He's known for, like, his bright ring attires, and seeing him in, like, just beige. Honestly, it's like he's about to go play bowls. Like, honestly, if they were going to the bingo after this, you'd be like, yeah, that makes sense. It's bedtime, Mr. Mysterio. It's bedtime. Murphy just got stomped by Seth. 1, 2. Foot on the rope. Foot on the rope. So, there we go. Tuck applauding away as her pretty much close to being lifeless boyfriend manages to, with his last fibre of energy, put his foot on the rope. She's like, yeah! He's almost dead, Tuck. He's almost dead. I don't know if you should look so chilled. She's just like, yeah. Just boyfriend doing boyfriend things. Oh, look, now she's pained. Knee strike by Murphy. Now she's happy. Goes to the stomp. Knee strike. Picks him up. Oh, that was good. I think she sprained or maybe even fractured her ankle. You can tell that she's using that barrier. Murphy wins. Yeah, you're right. You know, she's walking with a limp. She's walking with a limp. I think she has done something. They cut away. She was walking with a limp then. Oh, I need to know what she's done. Oh, Ray's gonna be in trouble. If she has sprained her ankle or done some damage. Sasha coming down. Da, 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 da. Dun, 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 dun. Sasha looks like a Christmas present. A very welcome Christmas present. She botched the fall. I think she did a little, yeah. I think she did a little. What's Sasha wearing? She is wearing either Christmas wrapping paper or special Christmas pajamas. One or the other. Twisted her ankle with them stupid heels. I know. Well, look, Anna, this is the world of fashion. Do you know what I mean? This is the world of fashion. You are going to get injuries if you are going to be as dedicated as what Tuck is to the fashion world. So, yeah. It's a price worth paying. It's a price I pay every single day of my life. I've got massive hit. Whenever I go out in heels that are like this. And I actually broke both my legs and my ankles. And tore my ACL, BCL, CCL, DCL, ECL, FCL. All the CLs. And that's why I have been sitting here for a year. Because fashion. You can never criticize Sasha's attire, says David. Lewis said, I'd love Sasha as a Christmas present. Maybe Tuck takes over for Zelina Vega's fashion statements. Days, I hope those French paragraphs translated well. Days, what superstar has held the United States Championship the longest? What, ever? Do you mean in the history of ever? Because you'd be going back to like WCW times, wouldn't you? And you'd have to look at all them records. Days, you need to go to hospital. Now. Is it me, or does that does Ray look like a masked Dana White? Dana White's got a little bit of size about him, hasn't he? I don't know that Dana White has ever wore that much beige in all his life. So I honestly don't know if I could agree. Right, we are at commercial break at the moment. And let me see if I find the chat again. Sasha Asuka is going to be great. Well, do you know what? I completely forgot that we were building towards that match. So, yeah, I hope we get, I don't know, will we get Asuka coming out? Could we get Asuka appearance right now? Wearing a heel is like climbing a prickly mountain and trying to walk on a very thin rope at the same time. I've tried it once, says Birrock. Right, we're going back. I wish I got Sasha as a Christmas present. Okay, Talking Smack. How long we got? 29 minutes. Talking Smack, Bailey, Street Profits, Daniel Bryan. Birrock says, I expect about that. I'd love to wake up Christmas morning to Sasha Banks under my tree. Asuka is here. Asuka's here. On my way, on it is the way. On my way. She looks nervous. Sasha looks nervous. Michael Cole in the ring. She loves these kind of catsuit things, doesn't she, Sasha? She's worn quite a few of these in this year, in particular. Okay. You're not the boss of me. You're not the boss of me. Right, Asuka, Sasha. Yeah. That was a really good match, actually. It was a really good match. I remember being really, really high on SummerSlam. I think it was the best show this year, WWE-wise. Sasha says, you are one of the greatest. Sasha laughing. You've got them jokes. But there won't be any laughing on Sunday. When I make you tap out on Sunday. Ha 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 ha! She went full on Cardi B. Yes! Queen! I can finally understand you. She's kicking her shoes off. She's gone Matt Riddle. You're going to fight in that attire? She says, we can fight right now. When you are the star, the standard, the blueprint. Yeah. You are not ready for Asuka. The boss was born ready. Carmela from behind. Chop block. Down goes Sasha. Asuka just standing by. Yeah, just watch Asuka. Go sit on commentary or something. I'd be tempted to grab that belt. I'd grab that belt if I was Asuka. Carmela attacks Sasha. Sasha upside down in the corner. And Asuka just standing and staring and watching. And they keep cutting back. She's just like... There we go. 3 weeks in a row. Carmela attacks Sasha. Are we going to do UFC tomorrow? What time are you starting? Maria, we are. Yeah, we always do UFC, dude. I don't know what time it starts. I think it's like 11 UK time, which is like 6:30, but we'll start like good half an hour, maybe hour before. So, yeah, 100%. Jay says, I got the green light to speak to you, and I've got the green light to finish what we started. Everything I did to Daniel, that was my decision. Interesting. It is. It must be main event time, actually. That has really snuck up. Yeah, here we go, look. Yes, signs all in the crowd. So we are now going to Daniel Bryan, Jey Uso. Da, 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 da. Daniel Bryan with his sexy new hair. Carmela attacked Sasha 3 times in a row, and Sasha gets no offense. The reason WWE is doing this because they know Carmela won't beat Sasha for the title. At least that's why I think they are, says Brony. We want Eva. B Tazzy, shout out to you. Daniel Bryan making his way down. Yep. So it is Daniel Bryan making his way down to the ring, and we are building towards Daniel Bryan against Jey Uso. So bit strange, I suppose. Like this kind of main event for Survivor Series, you would have expected it to be maybe a little more Survivor Series relevant. Like maybe the contract signing would have ended the show. But we'll have to see what they've got planned. Eva Marie will never return. The second hour is It can't be worse than the first, Heather. It can't be worse than the first. Asuka as a heel. I mean, she's been heel, so she can do heel, but no, why would she help? I mean, from a psychological point of view, why would she? You know what I mean? She wants to win on Sunday. Someone's there beating up her opponent on Sunday. Like right now, I'd do the same. Be like, wow, sucks to be you. Nice to see Daniel Bryan. It is nice to see Daniel Bryan. Eric says, can you take off the hat? No. Sasha Banks versus Carmela at TLC. In a ladder match for the SmackDown Women's title. Chalmers says WWE could probably do Jey and Roman versus Drew and Daniel. They could. I don't know if they do that tonight, but that's certainly something we could end up getting. Yeah, it's a good shout. James says, do you think we'll have a pallbearer recording? Oh, that would be brilliant. That would be perfect. They should definitely do that. Definitely. Definitely. He was too big a part of the character for him to not feature. I hope so. Maybe a hologram. That would be nice as well. Oh, yeah. It'd be good, wouldn't it? I also said it'd be nice if, like, Brother Love came out. If Brother Love came down and... if Brother Love came down and... like, maybe led Undertaker to the ring, that would be cool. Because he was involved in 1990 at Survivor Series. BOD Talks says, first we had Seth calling Tuck beautiful. Then we had Roman talking about a love story between him and Drew. Days, what is this SmackDown? Days, take it off. Eric, it's a bit weird having that shouted at me. PS5 commercial. Oh, I haven't got a PS5 commercial. Mankind should also be there. Do I remember when someone donated that money? I do remember, yeah. I do. Haven't seen them since, actually. Obviously, I hope they are well. Jonathan says, Days, what do you want for Christmas? Peace and goodwill for the world. That's what I want. I'll tell you what I want for Christmas. A better 2021 than what 2020 was. That's what I want. Maybe Paul Heyman will become the new Paul Bearer. I mean, like, I would like the actual Paul Bearer to be there. I'm really cross now. When will the Messiah get new disciples? Well, I don't think they will, because I think he's going off to be with Becky, isn't he? So I think he is going away. Like, the talk is he's going to be going for like a month or so. So Survivor Series could be the last time we see him for a little while. I wish Paul Bearer was still alive for that final farewell. They could do a spot of him and Brother Love arguing over who managed him better. That would be fun. That would be fun. Sony is spamming PS5 commercials. I honestly haven't seen that many here in the UK. I've seen tons for Survivor Series, but I've not seen that many for PS5. Days, would you be a heel or a face? I'd probably be a heel. I'd probably be a heel because, honestly, who's cheering for a YouTuber? I mean, no one. And no one should. So, I would be heel. Even I would be booing myself. This SmackDown has been lacking, says Aaron. I agree. Team SmackDown must be an odd team. The men's team is Corbin, Otis, Rollins, Owens, and Jey Uso. I want a Liv Morgan push for Christmas. Now, there's no way of doing it. That's not something that I can do. It has to be requested all through YouTube. So, with no contact details, there's nothing that I can do about it. Take off the beanie. No. Jey Uso is boring, says Basti. I don't think the bear is alive, is he? The bear? Paul Bear is not alive. No, he sadly passed away. I would cheer for you. You would literally be the only one, Mohammed. You would literally be the only one. I want the big gold belt to replace the Universal title for Christmas. That would be good. Yeah, I don't like the belts. I would like them to be more detailed than what they are. For me, they lack detail. Like I've never been a fan of these designs. So yeah, belt redesigns would be very welcome. The announce table is being stripped. Days, you are bald. Days, I think Bryan wins. Uso and Roman beat down Bryan, and McIntyre saves and stands tall to end the show. Hype man already started to boo me. We're back into the ring. How long? We've only got 15 minutes. I agree this show has been lacking. It's been a go home. I really hoped it wasn't going to be. I really hoped they had a few twists and turns and surprises and things like that, but the only YouTubers that should be booed are the ones that have got the last name of either Paul or Onision. 7 stars says, saw him as Percy Pringle at a world-class live event. That is really cool. That's really cool. To have seen him as Percy Pringle, that's awesome. Why is this a rematch? Needs revenge, doesn't he, Daniel? He got attacked after the match, and now he wants to get a piece of Jey Uso. Suicide dive, and Jey Uso goes down. I don't think Daniel Bryan should lose twice to Jey Uso. That's not good booking. Omaron says, Days, how do you think the Undertaker entrance will be at Survivor Series? Well, I think it'll be standard. I'm not expecting there to be anything too different. I mean, the cat's out the bag, so I don't think he's going to be coming down as Dead Man. I'm expecting the music to hit, and he could come down on his bike, in all honesty. I think if you're expecting the hat and all of this and the slow walk, I don't think you're going to get that. Yeah, I think that we're very much going to be getting American Badass, or like a more modern version of American Badass. Daniel is Lana tonight. Hayden, shout out to you. Brian through a table. We are at our last commercial break. It has been a real fight to get through this show, but we're getting there. We're getting there, my friends. So we are at commercial break. Don't forget, we will be live on Sunday. We will start well before the kickoff show. Any news that breaks, obviously we got UFC tomorrow, but any news that breaks or anything, then obviously, you know, we're going to talk about that before Survivor Series starts. So we've got all that coming up on Sunday. David says, Daniel Bryan is going to win for sure. Eric now wants me to shave the beard. Shout out to Will Federico. Hype Man 15 says, I'm sad that Sting versus Taker never happened. Days, you don't like this show? No, it's been awful. First hour was awful. I mean, we got to like the 53-minute mark until something happened that I thought was, I think, halftime scores that were, about half an hour ago. I was saying the word 5 a lot. And I don't think there's been much that's happened since. Because that was, I think, after the Drew segment. So, I mean, the Asuka Sasha thing was all right. That was all right. This main event's serviceable. But, no, I'd say this has been one of the weakest SmackDowns we've had in a long time. I don't know if it's like the worst of the year, but 7 Star says this show has been like an enema. I think Daniel will lose and then cost Jay the match at Survivor Series. When's the next figure review? I honestly don't know, and stuff like that for me. Because I always get the figures from the toy hunts. So if I don't do the toy hunts, I don't have the figures. So yeah, that was a problem. Days uses Just for Men, Touch of Grey. What do you think of Daniel's new haircut? It looks cool. I like the groomed beard. I think it's really important. If you've got a beard, you should look after it. Keep it tidy, keep it in check, and it's good to see him giving it the respect that it deserves. So I like his beard, and yeah, his hair is the same as the kind of hair I used to have, to be honest, and I think that's where he got it from. I mean, I don't want to say that I've influenced him, but that's definitely what's happened. I mean, I used to be all about trees and everything, and he wasn't, and I think he took that from me as well. So, I think no one wins because of a Raw attack. Oh, that's a good shout. That's a really good shout. Are you going to be Santa Days for the Christmas and wear a Santa hat instead of your usual cap? That would need like a degree of planning that I simply don't ever engage in. So I would have to say it unlikely, because I don't think I've got a Santa hat just lying around. Big kick by Jey Uso. Are you experiencing hair envy? No, John, because the one thing that I don't need to be envious of is hair, because I've got quite a bit of it right now. I'm at a stage in my life where I'm doing quite well when it comes to like the amount of hair that I own. So I don't have hair envy, no. Please shave the beard, says Don15. David Connolly says Raw Invasion was cancelled. Imagine days without a hat and a beard. I'd be a completely different person. Aaron says, I totally agree. It's not the wild look WWE tried to give him before, something different. Brian Coleman says, Days, Randy Orton lost the title because he apparently requested time off. He wants to spend the holidays with his family and rest up his body. He should be back around Rumble time. That's interesting. That's interesting. I never heard that rumor. Right, I can say Daniel trying to climb up. We've got 8 minutes to go. Do you miss Underground? Not really, no. I think it had potential, but I think it was a long way from realising its potential. Daniel up top, big forearm strike by Uso. Big superplex. Big superplex. Hello, Gloria. Hope you are well. Wrestle King says, come on, Brian. LSW says, Days, if there is a Tuck Murphy wedding, will you bust... Well, I have to read what was written. Will you hust out the suit again? Yeah, I will hust out the suit. I will hust it out. Jay, main event Uso must be wishing every day his brother doesn't get medically cleared, says C Wrestling. Roll up by Daniel. Only gets a 2. Jay is the best. Here we go, Daniel, looking for that crossface. Pulling back on the nose. He's going by the nose. Ah! Pulling on the nose. Jey Uso all over, firing elbows into the side of his body. Knee strikes coming in by Jey Uso. Brian down. Who is the 5th member of SmackDown? It is Otis. Otis. It's Otis Taker. Uso climbing up. Daniel Bryan knocks Jey Uso down. You should be the official. I should be, shouldn't I? I should be at the wedding. Nice back suplex by Daniel Bryan. Do you know what would be quite funny? Could you imagine if secretly I went and got passed all the courses and did whatever you've got to do to legally marry people? I could do that. I could become, is it ordained or whatever? I don't know. But I could get, like, you know, I could go to wedding school and get the wedding degree, and then I can marry people. And I could do all that. Not tell WWE. They could then hire me for the Murphy and Tuck wedding, and I could actually be legally marrying them, and they wouldn't even know. How funny would that be? And then they're married. Legally. Jay down. Daniel kicking away at Jay's head. Stomping away. Jay is boring, says Basti. William says, OMG, then Days could marry us all in the chat. I mean, come on. You've got to tell me that would make a great documentary on the network. Could you imagine after that, once they've done the wedding, I go backstage and reveal that they are actually legally married? Who doesn't want to see that footage? Jey Uso looking to put Daniel away. Kick to Daniel. Daniel goes down. Oh, went for a big splash. Knees up. 1, 2, 3. Daniel gets the win. Daniel gets the pin. WWE fan, gaming and more. Shout out to you. Why doesn't Tommy Toy Travels watch WWE? He keeps up with the results, but I don't think he gets time because of work to like sit down and actually watch the shows. We've got Yes Chance. There's Final Farewell this Sunday. Daniel Bryan yesing away in the corner. Is that just the end of the show? It's a big yes chant that they're piping in. Awful. Just rubbish. That was awful. I wish Triple T would join in the chat again. Good Smackdown, says Tattoo. LSW says Triple T doesn't watch WWE because he's lazy. Heel turn. Heel turn by LSW. Heel turn. Right, fire in your scores then. The show has come to an end. What did you think? What did you think? 6.25 says BBBYPSI. 7. 7.5, 5.75, 6, 7, 2, 5.75, 6, 7, 7.5, 5, 7, 6, 7, 2. Will says rubbish. 7.5, 3.5, 7, 5.75, 7, 6 out of 10, 10 out of 10. For the Messiah, says C Wrestling. 5.75, says Colby. 7, 5.75, 10, 6, 5, 6, 4, 4, 7.2, 5.25, 6, 7, 7, 6, 7.25, 7. I do believe there is a little more than just having someone doing the wedding ceremony. Marriage license have to be signed. Yeah, that's fine. I just like, guys, this was a big honor for me. Like, honestly, I've never done anything like this. Can I just get your autographs? Boom! This is crazy! You are married! Buy me, baby! 6.75, 6, 3, 7.25, 7, 6, 6. William says, I'm going to give it 3.14 because I really like pie. 7, 0.25, 0.05. 7-star gives the chat 7. Wow. I feel like that's quite harsh for the chat. I think the chat's done well tonight. I think the chat's been excellent. So 7-star turning heel on the chat. Damien says 7. Jonathan Daniel, shout out to you. Why is anyone giving this a 7, says John. 7-star says the show was a 2. B Swizzle says no Undertaker. R.I.P. 6 says Heather. Nothing saved that. Not even an Asuka appearance. Jim says 15 out of 10. This is the best SmackDown of the year. Lol. Anna says trash show. I know go home shows are notorious for being bad, but this was exceptional. I know. We should have known. We should have known, shouldn't we? Shouldn't we? We should have known. As soon as it was, I mean, like, honestly, I came into it thinking, oh, I mean, like, contract signing, good. And in fairness, it was. Seth versus Murphy, it's all right. Daniel Bryan, Jey Uso, I was a bit bored, actually. I thought the TBDs, you know, could get a little twist, turn, surprise. I mean, I suppose they did put Bayley in, but they literally just went, I'm going to put Bayley in. Like, they couldn't have done it in a more unenthusiastic way. So, yeah, I very much think this is a show that was lacking, and we should have known. It was a go home. The writing was on the wall at the start. So, yeah, I'm not a fan. Wrestling Days fan says the chat was 0 out of 10. I would say Wrestling Days fan turned heel, but I think is heel anyway. I think he is the official heel of the community. Donald says 7.49. Sasha Banks says David Connolly. Blue heart, blue heart, blue heart. Well, you will love The Mandalorian. Because she says a couple of words in it, apparently. Brother Nero says this. When Murphy should propose to Aaliyah in a few months, Seth should turn, kidnap Aaliyah, and redo the unconscious elopement like Triple H and Steph in 1999. Becky might not be pleased with that, in all fairness. John says, should we blame Adam Pearce for how fillery that was, or Roman, because he was the tribal big cheese? I don't think we blame Roman. I'm fine with us blaming Adam Pearce. I do like Adam Pearce, but I'm fine with, if you've got to blame someone, we might as well go with him. Let's blame him. Or Tamina. We could blame Tamina. I mean, she didn't really do much, but again, if we've got to give the blame to someone. Heather says, if it wasn't for the chat, I would probably have watched New Japan instead. So there we go. Days, Taker passes the torch to Otis, and then we get Otis Taker. Right, I'm gonna say let's put a score down. Let's slap a score down. I mean, look, I think we've covered everything, haven't we? I was bored. That first match, that first half an hour was horrific. It was some of the worst WWE TV I've seen this year. It was pointless, boring. I didn't care. And it just kept going. It just kept going. And then even after that, it didn't really improve until we got to the 50-minute mark. So straight away, 50 minutes can be pulled out of this show. I think that this is a 5, straight up 5. I'm going to agree with you guys. I think the Roman segment was good. Roman and Drew. I think the main event was passable. I think Sasha being added was quite interesting. I think she was quite fun when she came down. So, like, seeing her all excited at being the captain, I thought was quite fun. I liked the Drew Roman segment. Thought that was good. I mean, honestly, I'm even struggling to justify 5. I'm sitting here trying to justify why I can even go to 5. And I don't even know if I can justify it. But, yeah, I'm going to settle on it. 5 out of 10, says Brian. Yeah, even I think it's a bit hard to justify. Birek says 7. The first hour was better than the best take of all this was Roman and Drew. Yeah, Roman and Drew was the best part. Seth Murphy was great, says Dom15. Sunny Wolf, shout out to you. You mean Bailey? I can't remember. Who did I say? Bailey coming down, being announced for the team and being excited. I thought that was good. I liked her. Because, like, so used to her being quite serious. I mean, obviously the attack on Sasha and, like, the matches and everything. So seeing her kind of coming down, smiling, laughing, being a little bit more of the ding-dong, a little bit more like that. I like that. Storyline-wise, I suppose, you know, it just moves her out of Sasha's way for a little bit. I'll be interested to know, you know, what does she do next week now that Survivor Series is over? Does she go back after Sasha? Does she talk about Sasha? Is there going to be a new feud for her? Did they plant a seed tonight? Was a seed planted of Bailey Bianca? Thinking about it, there could be. There may have been a seed planted tonight, both on commentary. Bianca wouldn't get in the ring. I think that could be Bailey's next feud. So I think we're building to Bailey Bianca, and I think we're building to Sasha Carmela. So that would keep Bailey away from the title. So and in fairness, it is the feud that Bianca Belair needs right now. So Sasha wasn't added to Team SmackDown. It was Bailey. It was Bailey. Did I say Sasha? I meant Bailey. Jonathan says, see you on Sunday. See you on Sunday. Not a great show, says Miss Clown One. No, not a great show. Hopefully, they're saving all the good stuff for this Sunday. See you guys tomorrow. Thanks, everyone. Thank you, Days. Okay. Right, let's shut this down. I think we've pretty much done and said everything that needs to be said. There's really... I would love to sit here and talk about the show and go through and break down all the segments. It just wasn't that show. It just wasn't that kind of a show. So, what can you review, honestly? So, it is what it is. As I said, big video dropped on the channel today, the March to WrestleMania one. I do think it's fun and funny. I certainly was enjoying it as I was editing it, and the feedback's been great. So, if you haven't checked that out, check it out. It's on the channel right now. I think you might enjoy it. It's fun. So that's on the channel. We're back tomorrow for UFC, and we will be starting good half an hour, I'd say, before the actual prelims. That begins, I think it's like 11:30 UK time, which is like 6:30 Eastern. So we will be covering that extensively. That'll be so a good 7-odd hour stream tomorrow, and then of course what I should imagine most of you here are most excited for Sunday Survivor Series, and again we will be starting nice and early on that one as well. So yeah, big weekend coming up, very much looking forward to it. Thank you everyone for joining us, really do appreciate the support. And as I said, big weekend coming up, so hopefully I'll see some of you at certain points over the weekend. Awesome, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll see you again next time. Bye for now.